1, 2, 3, 4.
I brought my cool cup.
Sponsored by Wawa.
Sponsored by Wawa. They got
Wawa's.
these cool cups for about $12 or something.
They're throwbacks. They're trying to capitalize on that Stanley Cup market or
And
whatever.
the nostalgia market that we've talked about.
Yeah.
I got this one specifically because it reminded me of my childhood.
It makes me smell when Wawa used to have a deli slicer.
Oh, dude, that this isn't even my notes, but it reminds me of some guy going all tism on the fucking the deli workers at the Wawa the other night.
How so?
He was like, "Do you microwave your fries?" And they were like,
No.
"No, we don't have a microwave." And he was like, "Well, are they made fresh?" And they were like, "Yeah, we make them fresh." Like, he's like, "So they're in a deep fryer?" They were like, "No, like they put them in this weird like convection oven thing or whatever." Like,
Yeah, it's called a Vornado. It's like
A what?
It's a Vornado. It's a convection oven.
sounds like my fucking bong.
Yeah, man. It's a it's like a convection oven that rapidly heats and cools. Like it's just like a real concentrated, like it pressurizes and then it gets real hot and then the air flows through it and it cooks evenly. It's kind of the same concept as an air fryer. It just works a little bit faster and it doesn't use oil.
And like places like that tend to
Yes.
use those. So he's just giving them a hard time about the fries, like I guess deciding whether or not to order them, and they were like,
We don't care.
yeah, like, and he's like, "Yeah, well, you guys used to have good rolls, and now you make your own bread, and look what happened." And they were just like,
Whoa.
yeah, like
Shots fired, buddy.
these girls were like, they were so young, they don't remember when Wawa wasn't a gas station. Like,
Yeah.
they were just like two 22-year-olds being like, "Oh, Wawa used to have good bread." Like,
They're not concerned with the integrity
this guy
of
was
Wawa.
like 50, just being like, "Back in my day, you could get lunch meat."
Yeah, I noticed a lot.
Okay, yeah, Wawa used to be better. Thanks for fucking.
I
I
noticed.
just don't get griping with service workers being like,
Well, I don't get the people with the fuck. They're all hung up on how shit used to work. Someone was complaining at Wawa, and then I heard a similar complaint the other day at I want to say either Acme or ShopRite, whichever one has that touchscreen fucking.
was it me yesterday bitching you about it?
Maybe were you bitching about the people with the touchscreen lottery ticket machine?
Oh no, I was bitching about the touchscreen deli thing.
Oh no, it was the fucking lottery machines. As always, is down. Dude, you've had
Sorry.
like a year to figure these out.
It's always a different one every week. I don't. get time to
They're the
adjust.
same.
There's not enough practice.
I want to get the actual like the crank arms that have these bases, but they're like $80 a piece. I don't know. They're kind of wonky as well. I was watching people talk about them. But anyway, yeah, there's just some boomer fucking like flipping out because the touchscreen ones are always down because it's just improper technology.
Are
That-
they? Every time I've had to scratch my D-Gen itch, I've never had an issue.
No, same,
Is
like
he
I-
like a specific game maybe that
No,
isn't in
like
stock or
like I walked in there and it just says out of order and the screen was all dark and it was like I think sometimes they just shut them off because too many people, they're like understaffed and too many people are going to complain anyway.
yeah.
So like I don't know. Wait, I might sneeze. It's gonna be stuck. But anyway, yeah, the guy was like, "I've been in here 3 times today. It's down. Like, you guys need to get the ones with the buttons." And they're like, "ShopRite is open for like another 45 minutes. Just go there. They have the one with the." But
my lucky machine,
it,
guys.
It was either Wawa or fucking like wherever the fucking they have the like. There's somewhere else I can place in my head that like, but I can't remember. But it's like it
I
has.
think Acme has the old school.
Yeah, they have
push
the button
one
because they told them to go like there's like go to Acme or ShopRite or whatever because they have the one you're looking for. And they're like, that's not the point. Yours is always down. Like, okay, like
They're like, and it's so stupid to like complain to the guy on the floor stocking the Reese's cups. It's just like
what's he gonna
he
fucking
has
do?
any say for his $15 an hour on what lottery machine is placed where. Like it's just like the same. I'm homies with a lot of the cashiers and different people at ShopRite because I'm there all the time, and like the whole thing where it's like we don't set the fucking price. Like old people are always like everything's so expensive, and it's like they're like, yeah, I shop here too. Like it sucks. Like it's just like Where do you think they buy their lunch? Like, yeah, they're not stoked on. Like, yeah, they're involved in the profit sharing on the fucking margins at ShopRite.
I was gonna say, like, they're not like they didn't get in at the fucking like just because they may have been working there since that specific ShopRite opened doesn't mean they got in on the ground
the ones
floor
getting
like as a
complained to
shareholder.
are like the fucking kids who just got out of high school working the self checkout.
And like you're So one right on that same fucking vein, man. I like meant to tell you this, but you were busy. I was busy all weekend. I had to go buy stuff for the wedding, obviously. Like, I was running to Home Depot, which is where you were getting the bulk of your updates. But there was a lady that I've never seen this happen before at Home Depot in fucking Vineland. Old white lady. Old white lady, like, gotta be like in her 70s.
I wonder how the road noise is gonna sound with this.
It's fucking phenomenal.
Sound fine?
I don't care. I can hear it in the can.
If I don't have the cans in, I like can't hear you.
Really?
Yeah, when I didn't have my earbud in, I like, couldn't hear you.
Oh, that sucks.
Sorry.
No, okay.
This is the ADHD podcast.
So
you go to Home Depot. There's a lady.
There's a lady with a cart, and there's a line for the self-checkout. And I'm the next person in the zipper, and I like this lady has like two things, and I'm like, would you like to go ahead of me? And she goes, no, you can go, but I just want to get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, excuse me? And she's like, I've been in here for entirely too fucking long today. And it's like, you're speaking my language, lady, but like, nah, you could go ahead of me. So she's like, thank you. And then like realizes she's in a self-checkout line because it's Home Depot. There's no longer... So she now is wandering around with her credit card, like out like a fucking child with like, you know, whatever in their hands, going, excuse me, I don't do this. And they're like, what? And she's like, yeah, I don't do this. I don't make an hourly wage here. I don't fucking do this. And I'm like, you're not going to win any favor with these. And she had like three things. She had like paper towel, like stuff that didn't need to come from Home Depot.
I don't get that. I get the argument. I don't make an hourly wage, but like it just drives me nuts as someone who like prefers self-checkout. It's like, I don't know, like I don't think it's hard for me to scan my items and get the fuck out of there 10 minutes faster.
Well, it's not, but I personally don't like self-checkout because like I said, it always ends up being something wrong with it.
But when it goes smoothly, it's like it's better than getting rung up by some old retiree who's slow as... You ever get the old geezer? And
they're fun.
They're slow. No.
They're fun, man.
Some of them are fun.
Yeah, like...
But as someone who shops 10 fucking times a day, almost always I prefer self-checkout. And it can be more of a pain in the ass having to... I'm doing like a 50 item order, and it's... But it's just as like... I'm an introvert, man. Like, as someone who just doesn't want to fucking talk to people, like, it's much better.
Like, I get it. Like, no, but it was just it was a very boomer tier, like, I don't work here.
It's like cliche at this point. Like,
I've been spotting it more and more, and it's driving me crazy because...
But people do cooperate sometimes, because I was at Acme late at night, and there was this old guy, and he was like, can someone please help me ring me out? And he had, like, a couple things, and because I guess all the registers were closed. This was down in Courthouse at, like, 11 o'clock. And the lady there was like, sure, I'll help you, and like just rang him up as if it was a normal.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like yelling, and he was like clearly like
just
very old.
And, yeah.
And, like, just like I can't see the screen.
Yeah, needed some help.
Yeah,
like,
but he wasn't a dick about it, so like everyone was cool.
This
lady was like, get me the fuck. That reminds me of me mom being like, fuck everyone, help me.
If she had a walker to be shaking at people, she absolutely fucking would. And that was the hilariousness of it. It was like, it's just like, you are really like not...
Makes everyone there uncomfortable.
It made me uncomfortable for letting me go in front of her. I'm like, I am so sorry to the employee that this happened to, where you now have to deal with fucking Gladys off her fucking meds, because she's just like I cannot. It was cartoonish how she's wandering past people into aisles with her credit card.
You're talking Vineland. I'm waiting for some fucking
hood rat,
some junkie or whatever the fuck to come run around the corner. And
there was like one of 3 times I was in the Home Depot. One of the other times there was a guy clearly trapping out of one of the bathroom stalls. He's pretending to take a shit because I kept hearing him making like he wasn't doing like and then like there was a plot.
Was he
for, like,
using, or was he like someone else would go in the other stall and he would just be
so,
like...
I walked in, someone was already on their way out. They didn't look like they belonged in Home Depot. I'm in there.
They weren't a craftsman.
No, it did not look like somebody there to shop for DeWalt or Milwaukee products.
Maybe to steal a couple of them and run out.
Yeah, probably that.
That's how they're gonna clear their tab.
Exactly. But yeah, there's a shady guy going in, and then there's a guy with his pants not down under the stall. He's just in there making like like trying to make noises like he's either doing something or trying to get my attention. I just peed and left, and I'm like, that's like you're clearly trapping at
Trying to get your attention, like, yo, you want to buy cocaine in this bathroom? Like,
Yes.
Such a bold sales strategy.
No, I mean he probably told people where to set up, and they just didn't want to make sure they got like they busted on a manager taking their hourly. Constitutional. But no, that Vineland, there was just so many fucking like the wedding itself. Shout out Ian, shout out Rachel. You guys had a lovely congratulations. You had a lovely ceremony. We were very happy.
Yeah, fucking cool.
Yeah,
Never.
I mean it was cliche, but like we had fun. Like we made like so much fun out of it. It was just a very stressful everything around it, and I wasn't even in the wedding or anything. I just was helping.
You had a cool shirt.
And I did have a fun shirt.
That was a sweet shirt, dude.
And a cool hat too. I wore my spin house.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's why I won. That's why I came
formal wear. That hat's nice. I gotta get me one. I don't know if I'd get a Ricky, but
I got another one for when we do eventually go to a motorsports outing. I noticed that there was a lot of gentlemen on the pre-show yesterday wearing Bass Pro Shop hats. So
yeah, they sponsor. They used to sponsor Dale Senior back in the day. They've been a long time sponsor of. Off and on Dale Jr. on like his side projects, not in the Cup Series really, but
I know it's on your shirt too.
It's on Martin Truex. Yeah, that's when they got into NASCAR. They had a relationship with Dale Sr. in like the 90s.
Gotcha.
And now they've been the long-term primary sponsor of Martin Truex Jr. and also they're on Austin Dillon a lot of the weeks too. It's weird how they switch sponsors all the time. So like your driver's car looks different every week.
Well, their logo is going to look kind of funny on my hat because it doesn't say Bass Pro Shop. It says Stop Bro. Stop. That's my ass, bro.
You got one of those?
Yeah, I got one of those
on the NASCAR site.
No, not on the NASCAR site. I got it off Amazon. But
Where'd you get that one?
I got this off his. I went to Ricky's website.
No shit. That's cool.
I was hammered, and I don't know why.
That's really cool.
I don't know why I bought it. I forgot.
My brain goes like, let me just go to like my Dale shirt's from like China off some Facebook
That's
ad.
Where I always. That's where
that's where they get me. But like, if I was gonna get NASCAR gear, I would go to like NASCAR.com. I would never think to like. That's cool because you're actually supporting the
him
driver
specifically.
Like,
yeah,
he might get a cut off NASCAR.com, but like the lion's share that's probably going to him. And his team.
Have no idea. I don't remember ordering it. I just got an email from.
Who the fuck's number 47?
It's like the fuck is Stenhouse?
I ordered 11R. What the fuck? Is that?
It's like who the hell is Stenhouse Racing? Oh fuck! It's all like a $20 charge on my fucking credit card.
That's not bad.
No, it was good. It was
a good deal.
And he won, or he did fourth, P4. That's winning to me, baby. But no, can we talk about bootleg jerseys actually? Because I have that one that I really like. But did you hear anything about the Fanatics, the brand of jersey, and like the problems that they're creating? There's like a whole thing going on with them right now.
I don't know about Fanatics, but I do have some experience with bootleg jerseys. Do you remember back in the day, like say 10 years ago, maybe a little longer? That was like a legit hustle where people like there would just be that one kid who's like, I sell jerseys, and there was when I went to Lake Placid, there was this kid Alex Bush from like upstate Bush. He was a good hockey player.
Very fuzzy guy.
He was a nice guy.
Was he trimmed?
Was he a second. No comment. Guy had a fucking wrench. Now we actually, this is a small aside, but we weren't at this hockey camp, Can-Am in Lake Placid. You had 2 or 3 on ice sessions a day and like 1 or 2 off ice sessions a day, and there was no showering after. Dude. You didn't get to shower until the end of the night, like back at the dorms, because like they were trying to rush you to get back. Like there was showers in the locker room, and like I'm 17, I'm showering after every skate.
Yeah,
like that was just everyone in hockey at home showered afterwards. Like 90% of people.
So just you and 90 other people that smell like armpits.
It was literally like 30 kids. Everyone's smelling like fucking hockey gloves all day, and then you go eat lunch and you're all sweaty, dude. Yeah. It was a fun camp. That first year was fucking electric. We had a really good group. The second year I went back, I was 17, and it was just like me and a bunch of 14-year-olds.
Hell yeah.
Fucking awkward.
Did you get laid?
Yeah,
but wait, before...
There was 2 chicks in our group the first year, and they were...
Dude, I was at
Everyone was so hot for him. One of them was a black chick, and everyone was just like up her fucking butthole. Still friends with her on Facebook. She's engaged. Congratulations, Jasmine.
Mazel tov, Jasmine. But anyway, yeah. So I went to Woodward. I'm going to talk about showering, and I could go to the Fanatics bootleg jersey thing. But shower. I went to Woodward, the skateboard camp in Pennsylvania. And the first year I went, it was rad. Like, I made friends. I had friends that, like, it was MySpace days, so, like, I ended up, like, making MySpace friends and shit. It was a great time. And then the second year I went back...
Where is Woodward?
It's in...
North Carolina or somewhere?
No, it's in the middle of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Like,
I'm thinking of Skatopia, I think, it's down
no,
south.
that's it. No, that's in Ohio.
That might as well be the South.
It's
the same thing.
Were they in the Confederacy? I don't even fucking know.
Who gives a fuck?
Probably. They're flyover state.
Nothing state, yeah.
They got 3 metropolitan... They got, like, 4 major metropolitan areas that were
The
all,
rest
like...
is just looks like Estelle Manor.
Yeah,
It's just like farmland.
It's like West Virginia.
Yeah.
You got nothing. So yeah, Woodward's in like central Pennsylvania, and like you're in the mountains. It's fucking beautiful. It's a very scenic place, and like you skate with pro skaters. I met Kareem Campbell when I was younger, like Tony Hawk's pro skater tier names. I met the guy Sandro Diaz who he was the second person to land a 900 on a mega ramp after Tony Hawk. Yeah, he was a really cool guy too. Very like they were all real fucking neat people. You get to meet people.
It's something cool when they bring a pro, because when I went to Sixers camp, they brought like Dikembe Mutombo and like
sick.
Eric Snow or some other like.
That's really cool.
It was just like
watching
Dikembe do a few dunks. Like it was just like everyone there was electric.
Even small aside on that, I don't watch basketball for fuck, but when you meet basketball players in real life, dude, they're like
the small guy on the basketball court is like
Kevin
taller
Nash
than me.
is like
dude,
7'2".
Allen Iverson's like the smallest guy in the league. He's like 6'1". It's just like what?
Dude, it's impossible. But yeah, like we stayed at the Four Seasons in Philly one time, and the San Antonio Spurs were there. We were all waiting for taxis in the same group, and
giant men
I
come
literally
walking
did
through.
not go above a kneecap in that entire group. Like it was
Perfect
hilarious.
tasting level.
Yeah, exactly. I was getting hit on the back of the head. It was like, ow, ow. But okay, so at Woodward, I ended up banging one of the counselors later in life. I had a counselor that I didn't know from there, but I met her in Colorado, and she's like, I was a counselor for you. I don't really remember you, but I remember your class, and I like remember your photo because I showed her.
That's grooming, dude. You were groomed.
I was groomed. Yeah, I was. But yeah, I ended up banging.
If this was the opposite, this would be like serious fucking
I
murky waters.
I never put one and one together on that.
It's that Drake Bell video or docu-series is fresh in my mind.
Damn,
like, the
dude.
Nickelodeon shit, dude.
I got groomed.
You got groomed.
But yeah, so
see how that works? It's not a big deal.
Well, that's like
I'm just kidding. That's not really a good take. That's not a good take on grooming. I'm gonna retract that statement.
No, we're like we're leaving it in.
Oh, for sure, but I'm not gonna stand by it.
You stand by your word. Okay, anyway. All right, so
that was the whole point of the Woodward story. You banged your counselor.
No, that made it sound much cooler though. Got laid. Oh no. It even adds, it's exponentially funnier now that I'm about to tell this part of it, because she remembers me from the second year I was there, because the kids were like, the first year I was there, everybody got along, it was friendly. The only thing that I remember like really being like a taboo thing was one of the counselors got drunk and had to be brought home by a taxi cab, and everyone was like, whoa,
at skateboard camp
he drinks beer, he's so cool, like, and like it wasn't that at all. He was like depressed his wife was leaving him or something.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so he's just like
working at the stupid skateboard camp.
Yeah, making $300 a week to fucking deal with these shithead kids.
I feel like that's when skateboarding was still culturally huge.
Extremely popular. Yeah, so like when we met Kareem Campbell, it was like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 just came out. So he's on all 3 of those. And like people were like, can you sign my copy? Like it was nice.
That's
it was
sweet.
But the point of this is the second year I was there, I stayed there for 2 weeks, and the criminality level went from like non-existent to like people were like threatening to stab each other. There was an entire cabin. There was an entire cabin of kids that had a masturbating problem, and when they brought an extra counselor in, they beat the shit out of them.
And then jerked off on him?
Not jerked off on him, no, but they were like, all right, so we
mean they had a masturbating problem?
We had split cabins, and like generally the one side would be like kind of older kids, and then the other side would be kind of like younger kids, and I was like 12 and like the first year I was 11, so I was like clearly with the younger kids. And then the second year, the median age was like 14, so they were like, you're like 12, you could go with the, like maybe I was
go
like
one way or the
13. It was like, so I was like, we're gonna stick you with the younger kids again, but like if you want to hang out with the older kids or whatever, you can. Like just you got to crash in this bunk. Like we don't mind if you like go over, because all the dorms are like there. It was cabins that are partitioned, so like one side's the young kids, one side's the old kids, and like there's a door in the middle that stays locked, but it's an adjoiner. So basically, you also have a bug zapper that was shared between the two cabins. It was like this long neon light that was like, it split the two rooms. And if you would get up there, the prank used to be like the first year, the prank was the counselor had shaving cream. So you sprayed shaving cream through that little cubby slit thing. So the person that's bunk was underneath it, they would lay down because you can't really see up on top. They put their head down, their back of their head would be in shaving cream. It's like, oh, you got me. Like,
Got 'em.
So this year, the door or whatever stayed locked and nobody really got along with the kids next door. And one kid got up to try and prank them at one point, and he just looks through the little window and goes, oh my God, because everybody's fucking spanking it.
The older kids or the younger kids? Like,
Older kids,
so
yeah,
they're all
in unison, like fucking jerking off. And like the
that's so whack.
literally.
I've never participated in anything like that.
Group spank? No, I
Nah.
didn't. I can't say I indulged it.
I've watched like porn with my friends when I was younger, and like I've done borderline shit, but like never a full on circle jerk. Like
so
it's like I'm gonna excuse myself and use the restroom, but I would never be like,
I'm gonna excuse myself.
Let's all sync up like some ladies.
I'm gonna excuse myself and use the kitchen. Lay down on your back. Just
I've laid down on the bathroom floor.
You mentioned that
You're
when you were
using
at work.
that pee pillow? No,
Yeah.
no, just like at someone's house.
Nice.
You just gotta get the poison out. You're using that pee rug that sits around the toilet. You're using that as a
covered in
pillow.
urine.
Just
like,
smells
like piss and grandma's fucking tampons. Like,
it gets me harder.
yeah, I know, right? So, like I haven't even gotten to the funny of this, but I'm having a fucking blast explaining.
Can you turn the volume in my headset up a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Tell me when. Tell me when. Tell me
Check,
when. Tell me
check,
when.
check,
Tell me
check.
when. Tell me when.
That's good.
That's good. Okay. So
Yeah. I was like straining to hear you for some reason.
So yeah, so everybody's masturbating. People are like threatening each other. Like, I'm
gonna stab you with this.
Some kid literally told me, like, I like just had like a minor disagreement with him. It was like, hey man, can you like move your stuff like from that cubby to that cubby, because that cubby's like right across. Like I used it to get up into my bunk because I'm a short little shit.
Fuck did you just say to me?
And he goes literally, he's like, oh yeah, you can use that. Don't worry when I cut your throat in your sleep later. And I'm like, whoa.
What
And
the
like,
fuck?
and the counselor was like, yo, like Corey, not, like what the hell, man? And he's like, I'm just kidding, man. Like, you know when like Nick Mullen goes into that like, bastard like school kid, it was like that, but like not funny. It was like this kid like probably
Made
had
everyone there like, I don't want to go to sleep now.
I remember some Asian kid threatening me with his pixie stick, like the triangular shaped like Allen wrench thing. He had like a brass knuckle, and he got up and put it right in my fucking throat at one point. I'm like, whoa! Like,
I don't remember any experiences like this at any sports camp growing up.
Yeah, this
Like,
was-
everyone was usually pretty stoked
The
to be
fir-
there.
the fir-
Even the local ones like soccer camp and just
Yeah.
anything like.
the first time it was like perfect, and then the second time my cat died while I was away, so that already bummed me out.
tough one.
Then I got threatened constantly by the older kids.
You went to like juvie
And,
camp.
yeah,
dude.
and,
What
like,
the fuck?
the whole-
I'm gonna sharpen my
when-
pixie
when-
stick
when-
and lodge it in your fucking throat.
when my parents came to pick me up, I was like shell shocked. and I had
How was
ear-
camp, honey? That was
I
good.
got raped. But
And
yeah,
stabbed.
there wasn't even. Oh, and there was this kid. There was like the most sinister thing ever. So Woodward, before it was a skate camp, it was a gymnastics camp, which you might have heard of. So it is a 50-50 like boy girl camp, because half the kids
Nice,
are there
dude.
for like, yeah, I mean, like you meet some girls, but they're all like fucking horse girls. Like they're all weird. They're like
Yeah, but they're
anorexic 12-year-olds.
flexible.
Like I don't know, like child pageant kids, how they're fucking weird, like Honey Boo Boos. Imagine that, like Central
Cuties.
Pennsylvania, cute, yeah, that kind
Remember
of
that
shit.
documentary or whatever?
That was not a documentary. That was just a straight up pedophile flick. But, anyway, Yeah, so man, like I haven't even gotten to the point yet. The most sinister shit I saw was there was this kid named Coleman, and Coleman was like a sociopath before I even knew what like the expression sociopath like meant. And this kid was like, "Hey, so there's all these gymnastics faggots that are gonna go play paintball in a little bit." I told them that like I've never played paintball before, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get on their team because you could like pay like $10.
Gymnastics dudes?
Yeah,
Okay.
like so gymnastics dudes wanted to play paintball, and this kid like basically like sociopathed his way into being like, "Oh, I've never played
You should
paintball
have
either."
friendly fire the shit out of them.
Dude, he got kicked out of the camp because he pulled a kid's mask off and shot him in the mouth.
Oh,
Yeah, like
not
at
even
point
fun.
blank fucking range. Like he was trying to shoot him in the eye, I think. Like, dude, this
that kid's probably in jail now.
that kid is like in prison serving a life sentence. Like,
Do you
for
remember his name?
Coleman? I don't remember his last name, but yeah, his first name is Coleman. And
Damn. I
yeah.
remember a lot of the kids from that first year I went. We, like you said, MySpace days. We made a bunch. We had like a whole group on Facebook, and I remember there was
Yeah.
like Lawrence White and Robert White. They're from Mississippi. They would always talk about cornbred, or they're
Nice.
from Missouri or something.
Missouri.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of characters from all over. We had kids from Canada.
Yeah.
that we just called them Canada. Like
There was actually what my first year. My counselor was from Canada, and his name was Ellie. I remember him. But he was from Canada. We called
His
him
name was
Canada too.
Andrew Bernstein.
That's
There was
pretty
a little
funny.
French kid too.
We-
Adam Citruk. They're all like when I look them up now, they're all like we were 15 then, and now we're all 30 now. Like it's
Yeah.
so weird to see
Very
everyone
surreal.
like this guy's a farmer, this guy's a lawyer, this guy works at McDonald's. Like it's just like
This guy does heroin.
like
Well-
one of them's got to be dead.
Yeah. But this. So anyway, the
What
whole
was
point.
the crime element? There was the stabbing.
Well, no. This was so just that, like, yeah, the guy. Well, he pulled a kid's face mask off, and they were supposed to be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And the guy just shot him in the face with a paintball
Well, that,
gun.
yeah, but I meant
Oh.
you said like the whole crime element went up. Just
People's like boards
violence.
and boards were getting stolen and shit like
Oh,
that,
whack.
and like people like had Game Boys and like cell phones that were going missing and stuff, and like there were people that were like not supposed to be at the camp that would like like there was like these hood rat kids
Sneak in.
from like Chicago that like had their friends living in the woods and like they would sneak in at night and like skate.
Smoke weed with them. And
No,
smoke.
like skate and like steal shit from people's cabins. Like it was a fucking nightmare.
This
So
one time I went to Russia and I robbed a train. I went to skate park with some Russian. I went to skate park with the Russian
that would be
mafia.
hilarious if Bert was like roaming the countryside in Pennsylvania shirtless and then just gets shot because people think he's a bear. I'm just trying to steal from kids. Ooh, ooh. You get a
Not
tr-
where I thought you were going.
Anyway,
They thought he was literally a bear.
he's just
He's
drunk.
a Wookiee or whatever.
Yeah.
Chewbacca.
Okay, so the whole part that's funny about this is that I got laid off of this chick remembering me from the second year because she was like, yeah, like that was that year that the criminality was like through the roof and also nobody showered because like there was just this theme where like the first or second day someone would just break the shower in the cabins and water would go everywhere. Whoever had the biggest flood would get like the most like, props or whatever, but it was just bad. Like
Just
there's
the
you're-
worst group of
it's-
people to get together.
it's
Skate
the-
kids are notorious like
shitheads.
fuck the
Yeah,
system.
like,
Let's grind down the
assholes.
stairs at City Hall. The
Yeah.
whole thing. I used to hear the whole gripe from my grandpa being an Ocean City cop about the
Yeah, we were-
skateboarders. He's like, well, go grind on your mother's fucking stair rail and see if she likes you chipping
Well,
off the paint.
Doesn't work like that, but anyway.
What?
If you're like trying to do a handrail, they make certain handrails grindable, and then like there's some that's just not practical. I don't know. I get your grandfather's gripe 100%.
He was a cop, so he had
Yeah.
to chase him away, and his
Yeah.
whole reason was like they're damaging property. Like,
Yeah, they're
just, like,
damaging public
Go to the
property.
skate park, like there was a skate park already.
Sometimes there's a sweet street spot.
I'm on your side, but I see
Like,
both sides.
I
of
see
the
both
coin.
sides of it. Absolutely, as an adult, yeah.
But he
like-
was geezing out, being like, "Go fucking do that to your mom's property
Yeah.
and see how she feels about it." Like,
So like, yeah, we just did not shower for like days, and it's the middle of July in like the highlands of Pennsylvania where it is just muggy, and like you get there and like someone says, oh, they fixed the shower in like dorm like 13 or whatever, so like there is a line out the fucking door for kids like me that are just like, I just want to fucking wash my face, man. I feel fucking like I'm gonna get shanked here, like everybody's stealing shit, like I'm afraid for things, and like I just want to like have like some semblance of like cleanliness at home, and like sure enough, like every time the shower would get busted immediately. One of the other kids, I do remember this kid.
that can't be. So I thought everyone was not showering just to be like punk rock or something. Like, oh, dude,
No,
fucking
like,
grungy skater. Like
we were
so
showering.
some shitheads were just breaking it, and then
Yeah.
like no one got
It
the
was
shower.
Ours was like the second day I was there.
That's got to
So-
be borderline, not illegal, but that's got to be like neglectful on the camp's part.
Oh, the
Like,
camp,
I feel like
the camp did not give a fuck the second year. The first year they were giving us snack time. They brought a guy with his drum set and
I'm
like
saying though, when you send your kids somewhere, they should be able to fucking take a shower. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I would be livid if like Vincent in 10 years went to hockey camp and they're like,
Oops.
no shower at night. Like, I could see if like because of the program you can't shower after like every event, but like
yeah, that
you
makes.
should be able to take a shower before fucking bed.
I was gonna say that makes like at least a modicum of sense. Like, hey, we got a busy schedule. Yeah,
you got
like
30 dudes trying to take a shower. It's gonna take an hour.
Yeah,
you know,
like-
we got to go.
But no, that was just like straight up neglect, and the camp gave up. Like there was a point where there was like things were getting shut down. Like this kid broke his arm in front of me, and like the policy was, if you have a break, you have to go to the hospital. If the hospital clears you, you can come back, but you can't skate anymore.
There's no refund.
And there
or
was like
whatever,
there was like no refunds, and like they were just kicking people out. Like, oh, you broke your wrist, like you're going to the hospital. We'll have someone bring your bags, like because like just shit was going crazy. And like I mean that was like the worst year. I know it got better and it got like a lot more put together over the years, but that was like bedlam, and it was there was a they used to do these things too. Like the first year there was these things called product drops, where they would like have a pro go to an isolated corner of the camp and he would have like a couple of decks, some stickers, some shirts, and he would just like get up on the ramp and be like, okay, first person nail kickflip, that person gets a deck, and then like give away some stuff and then just throw the rest. Like the second year there was
Get
like
the boys fucking pumped up.
coordinated beatings of people that got like the big stuff at the prize drops, and that was like, I don't want to. I don't
That's
even
so
wanna,
shitty. Even like someone catches a home run ball and they get like jumped in the parking lot. Like that, I don't know if that happens now, but like during the home run races, like the Barry Bonds or the McGuire, like when those balls were like super valuable, I think someone got beat the fuck up over one.
multiple people. Yeah, there was there's this one very notorious lady stuck her hand in some child's glove and took his ball and then ran away, and people like doxed her and like found her. It was fucking funny.
Was it a valuable ball? Or
Not a
was just,
valuable
like-
ball. She just robbed a kid, and like
That's
people
even
watched
shittier.
it on the broadcast.
So
like,
if it's something where like I don't even know if these balls would fetch this kind of money now, but I know before, like during when everything was better in the fucking 90s,
back in the good old
nostalgia
days.
when Wawa had good rolls. No, but those baseballs were fetching 5 to 6 figure price tags.
Yeah, absolutely. Still
I
are.
don't know if it would now. You think it would?
It depends on they have a new system of verifying everything because of actually this could tie back into Fanatics and the bootlegs, but they have a new system where at baseball games, and I don't know if they do it at football or hockey or anything yet, but when a ball is either fouled off or a home run or whatever, or like let's say a player like takes pity on a kid and gives him a bat or a glove or something.
I've gotten some pucks like that during warm-ups.
Exactly. Yeah, so like they have a person from MLB .TV, or no, MLBPA, the Players Association, that goes and takes a photo of the ball and verifies it, then prints out a little sticker and puts it on it to prove that, and then they give you the option.
So these guys at the stadium, you just go find them?
No, they come to you. Like they
see you catch a foul ball, they send a rep out.
They send a rep, and they print a little sticker out, and they verify everything, and then they tell, and like then that little sticker has a QR, so you scan it, and it's like third pitch, second inning, fouled off by Vladimir Guerrero into the second row. Like and it's
pretty neat. That sounds a little excessive.
They also have balls that don't necessarily make it into play. Like let's say a home run ball goes out into like a weird part of the not necessarily at Citizens Bank Park, but like Comerica Park, they have a giant fountain out in the middle of the fucking outfield. Like you can't even get to it if you tried. If a ball goes in there, what they'll do is they got mystery boxes now where you put $20 in a hat and they just give you a black box the size of a baseball, and it's one of those balls. So it's probably a foul ball, like 90 out of 100 or probably 99 out of 100 are probably foul balls. But like there is the occasional one that's like worth like a couple $100, and it was like you get a great ROI on that because you're buying. But like people go there and wipe them out like
fun.
They go there with like a couple grand and like wipe them out immediately and then
they
resell
do that at
them.
all those Sixers and Flyers events, like the Fight for Wives Carnival or whatever it's called, and like they would just be like a random
Fight Your Wives Carnival. They get drunk and beat your wife.
Sponsored by Dave Hammer Schultz.
Just going to Joe Canals.
Sunglasses.
Going to Joe Canals and drowning his wife in some fucking brandy, then beat the shit out of her.
That's cool.
I like him.
But yeah, you just buy. I remember I got a few of them. The one was it was a mystery basketball. It could be signed by any player, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get Allen Iverson. And I got like Todd McCullough, like the backup center. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the towel
I was
boy.
so pissed. But a Flyers one, I got Simone Gagne.
That's
so
a great.
That's a dub right there.
That's a great one.
Yeah, that stuff. But to me now, like that doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't hold as much weight. Like
It's cool, but like. I don't know. Like I have signed, even I still have it today, but it's just like in the closet in a box. It's not like, it's cool for like maybe a man cave or like your childhood bedroom, which I guess is one and the same. But like
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know. It just, I guess I'm just old. And, like I don't.
You get distracted by a cement truck. What are you, a dog?
Yeah. I keep open mouth like having these fucking random flashbacks to like that era of like.
Are you on acid? Like
No. When we were talking about hockey camp and stuff, I was having like memories. So, like
I was like,
when
he's
you
on-
said the kid got injured, I remember
The kid got injured
my
at
senior
hockey
year.
camp.
A kid got injured the first week of our very first game. He broke his arm. He was out for the season.
first
And he was-
game of the like of your hockey season.
Yeah, we
not-
had like
or,
one preseason game, and this was like the first regular game. And I was like 5 feet away from it, like when it happened. It was like towards the very end of the game, like 10 seconds left. Some guy creams him, he lands on his hard weird, and it just snapped like a fucking toothpick. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh! Like, I saw it happen.
Ooh.
I was like, that don't look good. And he was trying to, like, finish out, and I'm like, go to the bench. Like,
Yeah,
you're fucked.
The kid that broke his arm in front of me, he was doing a roll-in, and it's to a wall that's called a tranny, which I don't know if you're allowed to call it that anymore, but it's like where you have a pitched ramp that goes up to a flat wall, and what you're supposed to do is it's like how you teach yourself how to wall ride. The kid had his balance way too far forward. He slammed into the ramp as opposed like you're supposed to be leaning somewhat forward, but when you get to like the fulcrum of the ramp, you let the board kind of squirt out from under you, find your pivot point, turn your shoulders and go back. He preloaded way too hard and just fell right into the ramp. Same thing, fucking wrist went under, arm went this way, and it was like just a clean like 3 parts of a 2-part wrist. And he
That hurts.
Yeah, he didn't even react to it. He just goes break, and gets up, and it's like everybody's like, whoa, yeah, break. Like
I never broke my arm, but I broke my elbow, and I remember that hurt really bad.
yeah,
And it wasn't even a cool story. I know you broke your arm skateboarding.
I broke my arm diving down the stairs after a dog too. That's a pretty fucking embarrassing one.
Fuck. I was negotiating the terms. I was playing one-on-one basketball with my grandpa in the driveway. And I had these little... they were
Grandpa
like villain-
broke your arm.
Yeah, I won. and he
Toughen
was
up,
pissed.
pussy.
Yeah, nah, I fucking put a clinic on him. He's like, see you shoot the 3 again, you faggot.
Ron just whips out his fucking billy club.
Yeah,
Just
his nightstick. Pistol with me. I was like 4. We had these like little balls that would fit a kid's hand, so it was like, I don't know, like,
yeah,
a little
like
bigger than a softball or whatever.
I know.
They're Villanova. It was like red and or white and blue striped. Like I like those basketballs where they're alternating colors. I
Yeah.
think it looks cool going through the air.
nice flip to him.
Yeah,
Or nice.
something.
Yeah.
The NBA should do that. The red, white, and blue ones, like the Harlem Globetrotters. Anyway. So I have the ball under my foot. I'm like Captain Morgan in it, and we're doing like rock paper scissors for who gets to shoot first or something. Like I'm staunchly negotiating turns.
You were
I'm
hot
trying
dog.
to get.
You were hot dogging though. You had your foot up on the.
Yeah, I was. I was kind of rolling it back and forth,
Yep.
and I was like, I was being a little shit. Like I was being a brat because he just beat me, and he's like, I'm not gonna let you win. He would let me win sometimes, but it was like
Yeah.
he would keep it competitive. And
Kept you honest.
we're negotiating the next game, and I was like, no, make it, take it. Like, no way, come on, dude. If you make it, you gotta give me the rock. Like I was really like fucking deal or no dealing this shit, and then I slipped and I fucking slammed on my elbow, and that's how I broke it. And I was so upset. I wouldn't let my grandparents touch me at all. My mom was at work at Sands. She had to leave work just for anyone to even look at it. It was like broken as hell. I screamed. I was screaming. I was watching Double Dare 2000 or whatever
Yeah.
on
was a
my
good show.
grandmom's TV, and they had me just laying in bed, and I was just tears. I was like 4 or 5. It was kindergarten. It was right after the first soccer game of the season, so I missed the whole season.
Good job.
I was bummed.
Hey,
I
but
came
think
back
about-
strong in first grade. I used to get a lot of tucks in soccer. But the kid who broke his arm in hockey, they were pissed that the team wouldn't like refund him his $1,200.
Well, I
And it
mean,
was just like,
yeah, like-
at the time I was like, yeah, man, what a scam. But like now that
No.
I'm thinking at it, it's like that money's already spent.
Yeah, it's
just
like you paid up
you
front,
signed
like,
a fucking
and a
thing.
waiver that says
Yeah.
if you hurt yourself, fucking SOL. Like,
Yeah.
sorry,
And
that's
that happened in hockey camp where a kid like broke his ankle like doing like some off ice drill, and he like stayed the week, but he was just on crutches and like he couldn't.
couldn't do anything. But
We
it's like,
did like
yeah.
off ice like classroom style training, like we were at some boarding school, and like we would do like there was things he could still kind of learn, but like it was so pointless for him to be there. But like I don't know, he didn't want to. I don't know why he stayed, because it was just watching us work out and skate.
Yeah, he was horny. Well,
probably. There was no reason for him to even be there, because he was like a AAA player from Pennsylvania. Like this was like a basic hockey camp, and it was just like he was one of the sickest people.
I got a good one for you. The Ocean City lacrosse team getting kicked out of the Rutgers camp. We were like this close to getting. It was my senior year of high school, and everybody was like on like thin
I think I've heard
fucking
about this.
ice, because we kept stealing other teams like shoes and like pry
bringing the crime element.
pry a head off their stick or something like that, and then microwaving it and sticking up the entire floor. And then like me and Ben had the first room, because there was like triplexes, so like you had a big common area, and like all the way at the end was like Milivoy and Frank Unger, and then like there was a Dev, I think, was in our like me and Ben were the first one. So what we would just play is you come into the room and he would have his iHome playing
It's
this.
like the fifth fucking trooper to go by.
Yeah, they're out today.
on, dude?
We'll start fucking popping shots off.
God damn, you got a good vantage point.
But
here.
yeah, so
Popping shots.
oh, but yeah,
It's with fireworks in the middle of the road.
Hell
like
yeah.
New Year's 2019.
that lady stopped. That was so funny. She's like,
watching
she was
it.
just like, whoa. She's probably hammered. Like, oh, whoa, your road flare's kind of crazy, man. Anyway, well, yeah, there's this song called "Put It in My Mouth," and
My
like,
motherfucking mouth.
yeah, make it scream and shout. Yeah, that
a
song.
bop.
So we would have that playing at full volume on Ben's iHome. So like on loop too. So when we were in the room, that was just playing constantly, and you would smell like burnt plastic because we were microwaving people.
That's such a shithead
people's
move.
shit, and then like microwaving popcorn for like 20 minutes just so you could like not smell like weed, which never works. We talked about this last week off mic.
That was whose joke was that? Sorry, I had to schedule myself. That's what that alarm is. To schedule myself for work a fucking week in advance. I almost forgot to do it. And then every week I'm like, why did I not schedule myself on Sunday? It's because
You're here.
Monday I'm here doing this.
Well.
Fucking
I'm at work.
yeah.
But that shit.
What did you just say?
The popcorn trick. I think it was like DJ Who Kid was the one that said it, but some comedian does have a fucking bit about burning popcorn so you can smoke weed.
we had like an hour-long conversation about
Yeah,
like kicked off by that joke.
yeah, I forget.
Forget
Anyway, want to talk NASCAR?
the dangers of marijuana.
Oh, wait. I got one more subject before NASCAR. The Fanatics thing. Just because I don't know if you've heard about this, but have you heard about them being a fraud? Like, they're a fraud company. Like, it's
No,
something.
and I started this 30 minutes ago, but it was this kid Alex Bush. He was selling Chinese jerseys, and now Coco fucking
Joey Diaz?
Mizzy
Oh,
Mike
Kook.
Coke,
Yeah.
the younger one, the rapper one. He slings jerseys, and like they look pretty legit. And then our other buddy was like, they're fucking fake as hell.
Well, dude-
he's selling for like $80 a pop or something. It's like,
Well,
I'm not knocking the hustle. Hit him up for a jersey. We're sponsored by Mizzy Coke's
Mizzy
Jersey Co.
Mizzy
Fucking-
Coke's jerseys.
He's got the Kelly Green Birds jerseys.
He's making them in his garage. He's making them at night. He's not
off the rails,
retarded.
dude.
But yeah, anyway, the Fanatic, the reason that I actually support and endorse that hustle is because right now Fanatics is they handle MLB, NHL, NFL, fucking NBA, the fucking MLS,
Really?
every fucking
They all
major.
used to be like Nike, Adidas.
So-
remember the NHL Adidas jerseys?
Yeah,
like 10
and
years ago?
they were sought after like crazy. They were so well made and they looked good. They were like a good fucking pattern.
Adidas
So
was a fresh change. They used to have Nike Bauer, Reebok,
right. So
kinds of fucking.
here's what happened, and I didn't know this until baseball. Shout out, Baseball Doesn't Exist. Does a great show on like breaking down weird shit. Like today, he just dropped an episode about Shohei Ohtani's translator and Shohei getting popped in a whatchamacallit, bookmaking ring, and it's
The guy who got booted for life.
no, that was a different guy.
Football guy.
No, there was a basketball guy that got booted for life like last week too.
Yeah, that's the one I forget
Yeah,
his name.
he
I heard about it.
took himself out because he had an eye injury or something like that. But in reality, his homie had like 80 bands on the fucking game for him to do the under, which was like unheard of, like 0 rebounds, like. And he deliberately broke a rebound, like didn't like.
And he was gonna split that with his homie. and
or so,
fucking-
no, I think his buddy just like placed the bet for him or something like that. He bet on himself. I don't know. It was like he got banned for it.
If he's helping his homie get out the hood, then I guess that's somewhat honorable, but still
no,
stupid.
it's retarded. It's kind of one of these
fuck
things.
the
I didn't
casino.
want to talk. No, I don't want to talk on this, but it's like it's not.
I know nothing about it, so I'm coming in
Yeah.
completely blind.
No, I don't like that. I think that they're
He could he's making millions of dollars. If he wanted to, like, I guess help his friend, he could just, like,
outright give a buddy,
just
but
throw him the 40 grand he would.
exactly like
split with him.
So yeah, it's retarded on so many levels, but it's actually fueled by I think a lot of these sports betting companies, where it's like a casino is one thing, but a sports betting company is like its own entity. DraftKings is like they have DraftKings Sportsbook, they have DraftKings Casino or whatever, but like ultimately that's just DraftKings. Like you're gonna have the kiosks or whatever, but Caesars or Resorts or whoever's taking the fucking cut. Like they're taking the lion's share. DraftKings just has the ability to put a physical location and put their brand out there, so you're more inclined to go on your fucking app and do it at your at your house. There's something about it right now, and it's touched
I got
on.
caught up in that.
Yeah, it's touched on where they're like, this has got to be somehow one of the lobbyists, one of the politicians that's letting all this shit go through. They're all getting kickbacks or something like that from these people in a like astronomical way, because it's got to be what they're making up for all this fucking money they're printing. Like, because remember when they were like just printing fucking money 2 years ago? Well, they never fucking stopped, and it's like the stimulus checks were supposed to like reinvigorate the economy, and instead it's like the economy is doing worse than ever. I think that these like fucking sports books are like, this is the laziest way of you playing the lottery, like is literally just going on your phone. They have a lottery app now too, which is even fucking stupider, but they just want those donations.
Just
like,
took it over from the mob. That's all.
yeah, they just legitimize something that now the government can take your house as opposed to
It's
the
kind
mob
of what's
taking your
going to
phones.
happen with
Like,
weed eventually, where it's just going to be like, you know, Jose Cuervo Kush. Like, it's just going to be massively.
Marlboro.
Hopefully
Green.
not,
Yeah.
but like eventually it is going to come to a certain point where it's just going to get.
Daddy's got 25 shares
Like,
of Philip Morris
You know,
now.
there's
So.
there's still people down south who make moonshine and sell it and stuff, but it's not what it was.
Yeah, it's not as taboo
you know what I
or
mean?
even illegal.
No,
really.
no, it is. Like I'm saying, it's that market is not what it was. Like tons of people were doing it 100 years ago.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like maybe not in our lifetime, but eventually weed's going to be like everyone always says Walmart weed or something. Like it's just going to be corporatized as fuck. Like
Wally weed.
Anheuser-Busch, Kush. Like it's just
Yeah.
Marlboro Mids. Like it's just going to be, I don't know. People will be hyped, like, oh, you're going to be able to go in your local 7-Eleven and get a pack of joints.
I
It's
really
like,
don't
It's going to
want
be
that.
fucking dog shit. Like,
Yeah. I hate that.
yeah.
That sucks.
I want to meet a guy in an alleyway, and I want to be nervous.
I want it to be scary. I want to be involved for unnecessarily.
Christ, you gotta believe that.
No, it's,
What?
It's from the Caddyshack. We've already said it on
okay.
here.
Yeah, I watched fucking. I read Huckleberry Finn. I could say Jim.
no, well, yeah,
from the book,
it's a
dude.
literary term, I guess. But yeah, no, it's it works. But no, for real, it's like like there should be an element of criminality to your drug use. You shouldn't be able to go to fucking 7-Eleven and buy a 12 pack. I mean, you should, but like, fuck, I don't know where I stand on this anyway. I'm fucking stoned.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to talk
Unless
about
I can open my own store, then I'll be like totally team corporate. I'll be like fucking. You know what I mean, if you can't beat them, join them type thing. Like,
I wish you could do that. Just make like Jake's Roadside tomatoes and marijuana.
yeah, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be hot. Like,
I'd support the local guys before I went to fucking Costco Kush.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to go to like Camp Park Kush and just be like, I'm gonna support this weird white guy.
I want to
You,
support.
you remember the owner there? You ever go in there?
I mean, I've been in there like
Like
a
some
month.
skinny weird white dude.
Oh, is that
he's
the
like-
owner?
Yeah, he's like, we own this and we own one in like way far away, like North Bergen, and I'm like, what? Like it's just like
Is there even a camp up there?
I don't know.
Camp Crystal Lake Park.
I don't know nothing. I'm
All right.
stoned out too.
All right, so Fanatics. So Fanatics
We're
has
back to this.
Fanatics has bought the rights. They're a Chinese company, and they've bought the rights for all the major sports to basically just manufacture. So the reason this year all the Phillies jerseys are like all the
They have
retro
NASCAR too.
probably
Pretty sure.
So they're like the reason that they're making such varieties of jerseys is they have this approach that's like we can make any jersey from any team in the world and have it delivered to you within 48 hours. So the way to stimulate their sales, because they put such a like big investment into this to make up for it, is they're
Subpar product.
yeah, but they're still like letting Nike spot. So what it's like is like they made I think it's a $3 billion investment where the previous bid was $300 million. So they made like what was it, like a 10x fucking investment in this. But the way they're recouping that loss on the initial investment is they have a high turnaround. So every single team now isn't buying through a middleman. Like, so Nike would have to make it and then sell it to the Nike outlets or outfitter. Fanatics basically just monopolize that whole aspect of it, where they're like, boom, like regardless of if it's going to Joe in Tuckahoe or it's going to the Phillies in Philly or it's going to like the Zhejiang Pings, soccer hooligans
the fucking Minnesota River Rats.
Anywhere it's going, it's there in 48 hours, and that's like their guarantee. So they like the way
they charge the same price as the other.
Yeah, they're like competitive with everything. Like for the teams and the consumer and everything, it's like competitive to where like jersey sales normally are. But the thing is, they still have the Nike logo and they still have the Adidas logo on everything, because part of the recouping is those brands were now cut out from the MLB. Like, because they're like, well, we're not going to be able to put we're not on the jerseys, and you don't let people advertise on these jerseys. They're like, okay, we'll meet you in the middle. We'll make it look like, even though these are Fanatics jerseys, we'll put the Nike logo on the shirts, the pants, and your gloves and everything. Everything Fanatics.
And they're paying.
And Nike's paying licensing to Fanatics. Well, they're paying
like advertising.
Yeah, well, it's like similar to advertising, but they don't have any rights to their because they're not their products. So like Fanatics is just raking in money from Nike, Adidas, Reebok.
And people are getting these, assuming that because of that it's a Nike product. And
exactly.
It's really not.
But it's a Fanatics product, and I had no idea. But then there was like,
so it's not like a logo. Like it's literally like. It's like product placement. Like, it's like they're using it as advertising, but it looks like
a real Nike jersey.
So you're not thinking it's advertising.
Exactly. And that's why you're like you're instantly like, oh, I like that powder. I like the City Line jerseys in Philly. That's a Nike product. I'm just gonna go on MLBshop.com and buy it, not even thinking about like, oh, it's $169 for a jersey that costs like 4 cents to make because it's a subpar. Like they're making so many of them that the quality has steeply diminished to the point where there was a guy.
That stinks because like hockey sweaters, the real ones at the stadium, or even if you get a real one from,
they're like upwards
Dick's,
of $200-$300.
They're like now I don't know what they are, but I know when I got mine like 2009, 2010, I had like a Pronger and a Carter and a Giroux. They were always like $2 back then, like $189 plus tax or something.
Yeah, these are like the same price, but they're like a less quality.
I was gonna say they're probably more now,
Most
and it's
likely.
like. But the thing is, I was gonna say when you get those jerseys, like they were mint, like they were not the same
top quality.
Because I had some Foreman Mills Eagles jerseys back during their Super Bowl run in like 2005. Because I was that kid where I was like, I'm gonna wear an Eagles jersey to school every day. So I had like 3 real ones, then like 4 or 5 like Foreman Mills ones.
Yeah.
Like, they like looked like satin and shiny. That's all weird.
I have my Gagne jersey is a CCM, and I'm like, yeah, this is not even remotely close to what a jersey's supposed to look like. But that thing is held up. Like they used to make shit better back in the '90s.
Yeah, those CCM ones are weird.
They're not the
white
same.
And orange ones.
White and orange ones. Yeah, like there was like one
they just feel like they're made out of like a weird material.
The next iteration was Reebok, if I'm not mistaken, because the Reebok jerseys they were like the 2000, like the early 2000s jerseys with like the silver trim on the home.
Those were cool.
Yeah, like that was like, or at least like the first one that I looked at, and I was like $300. Like what the fuck? Like I can't afford this. Mine was $25.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah. So
there's not really an aspect like that with NASCAR. Like I feel like the guys who wear like fire suits to the races are fucking weird.
Like, me.
You would show up to a race in a fire suit.
Hell yeah! And light myself on fire.
There's people
for
that walk
posterity.
around like they'll have like a similar fire suit to like Chase Elliott, and like the one guy had the fire suit, the matching mustache, the aviator shades that he wears. I'm like, are you like cosplaying right now?
Yes.
Like that's.
I would wear a helmet just because it's needed.
Bring a baseball glove. Catch a tire. That
I brought 2 baseball mitts and a ball to the wedding, and I had a catch with my chef.
That's really fun, dude.
It was, dude. We were in suits and ties having a catch. Like,
I haven't played baseball catch in a long time. I got my mitt out of my grandparents' shed when I was cleaning that out.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's nothing like throwing the fucking ball around the horn. I used to bring my glove to the games when I was a kid.
To the races?
Catch a fucking foul ball. Never caught one. Used to get a bunch. Never like outright caught one. But at the Sandcastle Stadium in Atlantic City, then it was Bernie Robbins Stadium or something or another. My grandpa was pissed about that too.
What?
Oh, they just sold it for advertising. Like the Sandcastle was a cool name. Now it's just Bernie Robbins Jewelry Stadium.
Bernie Madoff.
Yeah, it's just fucking like that's fucking lame. But they were just trying to stay
Bernie
afloat.
Sanders Sandcastle.
Anyway, at the baseball stadium in AC, there was like volleyball courts off the first base line, like way in the corner towards like skate zone, and foul balls would get dinged off over there all the time, and they would land in the sand trap and they like wouldn't bounce. So like I noticed that once, just like walking around, there was like just foul balls that no one got, and I'm like, oh shit. And like every time one went down there, I literally had a 5-gallon bucket full of foul balls.
Nice.
Games, yeah. So I never caught one though, but I would
Yeah.
run down, play shortstop, get the grounder out of the dirt.
There was this one time at the vet where there's a couple of times we had really good seats at the vet. We had like first baseline 300 level, so we were like on the lower tier, but like as high as you could get on the lower tier without like, but front row right around like the walk around. So like
It's like perfect range.
Yeah.
Like, getting too low,
Yeah.
it's cool, but it's like
you also get sunburnt. It's
I like at any sports stadium. I like being at that mid to upper level. Of
you get
the
to see
first
you get a
level.
good view of
Yeah,
everything.
you get that nice elevated view, but you're
And-
not too far away.
Yeah. So my uncle was with us this one time, and there was a foul ball hit, and it was like kind of going over the walkway, so it was like right in front of us. And I remember I knew exactly how I would have leaned, like I would have jumped and leaned over a little bit to catch it. And I know that I'm like small, so someone would have just grabbed me or whatever, but like I would have just leaned. And my uncle was like, no, I got this, and held it like that. And I'm like, you're not gonna catch it; it's gonna go through. And he's like, shut up! Like, no, I got this.
You had
And
this
I'm-
whole conversation while the ball's in
dude,
the air.
it was like it
He
was
hit it like
up.
a mile in the
It
air.
was like up there for like easily like 10 seconds of hang time, and like I had my glove. I'm
would
like,
he
I
try
got
and-
it. He's
Why
like,
would he try and scoop it?
he
Like,
didn't
you
want
got
to.
it.
He didn't want to scoot. He thought that he had a better angle going like this, but he had a bigger glove, and it just. I was like, it's gonna slip out. He's like, no, I got this. Shut up. And like I was like, I knew how I would have gone and got it because it was coming like it's curving back toward. Anyway, the ball smacks off goes right through his glove, smacks off the fucking ground. It goes flying as high as I've ever seen the ball bounce up into the 400 levels like above us. It like literally went like it cleared the entire stands we were in.
That's a bounce.
It was
After hitting his glove?
no, it hit the glove, went through the glove, and then bounced off the fucking cement walkway and went flying.
Damn, saw that much momentum after.
Dude, it was up there. It was really up there. We were far away from home plate too. It was very seldom, but there was this one time a real sharp foul ball got hit, and it went behind my grandma's seat, and the ball bounced and like ricocheted between the plastic seats and like the cement and everything, and then went squirting up over and like kind of into the small of my grandmother's back. And apparently some dude dove and tried to grab the ball from back there and just reached down her pants and grabbed her ass. And my grandma turned around and hit him with her purse.
That was the most frantic when a ball or a puck would land in the stands and like no one could find it and everyone's like rooting under the empty seats and shit. Dude, it was just chaos.
Let me see if I can jog a memory for you. Do you remember that movie? It was a Disney Channel original movie called H-E Double Hockey Sticks.
I've heard of it, but I think it's a little before my time.
Oh, damn. It was like right in the Brink era. Like it was like Brink, H-E Double Hockey Sticks, My Date with the President's Daughter. That was
Love that one.
that
the
guy
theme
was
song of that was a bop.
my date
With
my
the
date.
president's daughter, oh yeah.
Yeah.
My date with her.
Yeah, that was a good fucking movie. I love that the whole premise is that he's a magician too. It's like the magician's
He was the
getting laid.
dude from Boy Meets World or whatever.
Yeah,
I
that
forget
guy.
his
That
name.
guy was in H-E Double Hockey Sticks too. He's the devil, or not the devil. He's like supposed to be like a guy that helps the devil. The whole premise of that movie is kind of fucking whack. The devil sends a guy up to like Earth, basically.
This is a DCOM. This is a Disney Channel
Disney
original
Channel
movie.
original movie comedy, and it's like he sends this devil like
Let me look up
guy up to like Earth to basically ruin a hockey player's career because he sold his soul or something.
the
And then and then
Seems
like
a little weird for Disney
bro,
Channel.
it's a very weird movie. It's a very forward movie. But yeah, H-E Double Hockey Sticks.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
I have Disney Plus. I wonder
Dude,
if it's
yeah,
on there.
Dude, if it's on there, you gotta say it. It's fucking great.
I like kind of remember that for some
But
reason.
there's a scene in that movie where the devil guy is at a hockey game and he's about ready to start picking on the hockey player dude. There's like a love
99. I was like
there's like
6.
a
I don't-
love story involved in it too, where like the kid keeps trolling the hockey player because the hockey player's banging his sister. Yeah, that
I
guy.
don't know if I saw that one.
But
I'll have to-
the guy on the right with the T-shirt, that's the devil surrute guy.
Yeah,
So
he's got a
there's-
goatee.
Yeah,
Looks
so there's
different. He's got blonde tips.
There's
dude.
like it looks like a straight out
It's
of
like
Smash Mouth.
Dale Jr. dude.
The Offspring, Dexter.
Port used to do the fucking blonde
But
tips.
there's like a scene where that guy is in the stands and he's about to start trolling the hockey player guy, and a puck goes out of play and lands in the like seat, like not in the seats, but like in the walkway right next to him, and nobody notices, and he's just sitting there like, "Ooh." And then the way the kid trolls the guy, he's like, "Puck!" and everybody dives on him, and like the devil guy gets like dog piled on him, but like the puck just sits there for like 15, 20 seconds unaccompanied. Like everybody would be over that on that shit.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
I grew up going to Flyers games. Like, no, you're getting punched in the mouth, kid. Like, I want that.
We followed the Bullies on a roadie. It was like 4 games or something. Like 2 in Toledo, 1 in Johnstown, 1 in Reading. So it was,
Reading Terminal Market, you mean?
we went to Toledo like every year. I think this was the second year we just went to Toledo. But anyway, we were there for
Another
like
fine
we were in
Ohio
like
city.
Toledo for like 5 fucking days or something. Like,
Why?
this was because there was 2 games and there was
Oh.
like a day break in between them.
I'm
and,
sure you got a lot of Toledo under your belt, Jacob.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was just like
There's
we
nothing
were hanging
there.
out with the dog pound. We had like an RV outside the Marriott. Yeah, we brought hockey sticks and we were just like shooting balls against the side of this like really nice hotel.
Nice.
Fucking, yeah, I don't know.
Dude,
got in trouble. I got lost in the hotel. Couldn't find my like way back to everyone. Like had a fucking spaz.
Toledo was a
that was
shithole.
cool.
I stayed there once. I stayed in Akron. Both of them are.
I thought it was really cool, but I was also 10, and I was just like, "This is Ohio. This is neat." Like
this is a different
and
country.
The barn that the Toledo Storm played in, I think they tore it down. But when we first pulled up, I said, "Is this a grocery store?" Like it literally looked like a small Acme. It was tiny. Like
Yeah.
it was tiny. It was cool. So I just like that aspect of it. Toledo had a really good minor league hockey market. Like that type of hockey fit that demographic of area.
Here's a random question. What do you think the coolest stadium, like non-home, obviously, like
I haven't been to many.
you haven't been to too many. You just said you went on a tour though. Like
That's about it. That's it.
just
I've
Toledo,
been to,
Ohio, and Boardwalk Hall and
So all the local ones, obviously.
FU Center.
Yeah, the Spectrum. Been to all like but outside of that, been to Dover. That's a racetrack, but I don't think I've ever been to many or any away games other than the Bullies weren't playing, but we went to the Las Vegas Wranglers, which was another East Coast team when we were in Vegas.
That's pretty cool.
05, we saw them play like.
That's
some
like in
other
a
West
Civic
Coast
Center,
team.
probably.
It was a really nice stadium. Like
Really?
it was like an offshoot of like the MGM or some casino. Like it was fucking balling.
Really?
Yeah, it was like an event center. Like you know what I'm saying?
I went to a really cool stadium down south, and then we can shift gears. See what I did there?
Johnstown's cool. It's like an old town, but I
Yeah.
don't really remember the stadium. I think that's where they filmed
Slapshot.
Yeah, so that was cool, but it was just like a small. It was nice. Toledo was like dumpy. Like that's what made it cool.
I think the
The
cool.
refs' locker rooms was just like a trailer out back, and they would like have that black stuff that you walk on, like the rubber stuff, and they just had like that going to like
Just a zigzag.
to a fucking like. It looked like those trailers that are like, it's a men's and a woman's porta potty or whatever.
Yes, they had one at
It
the
was
wedding.
like it was like one of those, just like where the refs would go out and get changed.
Yussel was very impressed by the caliber of toilet. They had one of those literal Caproni trailers that you're describing, like the ones they park on the boardwalk when there's
Yeah,
overflow.
literally that.
thing. Yeah, Yussel
Those are nice,
Yussel
dude.
was taking a leak, and he's like, "I like how they sway back and forth. It feels like I'm on a boat." God damn it, dude.
Yeah, I've done some. Never mind.
Anyway, but I was gonna say
Done
this
some
really.
nose beers, one of those weird
Who
porta
hasn't?
potties.
Yeah, your fucking nose beers are running away.
Just stinks.
Taking a shit. It smells like fucking porta potty fluid too, because it's not like a regular
In Sea
bathroom.
Isle, they had them like behind La Casa. You're just surfing in those things. Good times.
So the coolest stadium I think I ever been to was the Durham Bulls Stadium. I had to deliver a legal dossier over there when I worked for the law firm in Raleigh, and Durham's like 15
They
minutes away.
Basketball.
Durham Bulls are a baseball team.
Okay.
There's a movie called Bull Durham about a pitcher that pitches for.
Chevy.
I think that was that Chevy. Either that or it was that fucking Impala behind, or not the Impala, the fucking Mitsubishi.
I couldn't tell if it was a Subaru or
Was that a Subaru? I thought that was a Mitsubishi.
the blue one.
I thought that was a Spider.
I couldn't tell. It
Or
almost
not
looked like
Spider,
a
Eclipse.
Chevy Cobalt S or something, but it didn't sound like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that spoiler was a little too fucking.
Looked
gay.
like it could have been an old Subaru, like the rounded body style.
Yeah, who knows? You want to go chase them down?
Yeah, bring the camera.
Okay. So, the Durham Bulls, their stadium was like a notorious shithole, and Durham is also a notorious shithole. It's where if you want to go get really good heroin, that's where you go. And or
to know.
if you get
Noted.
released from prison. And you have nowhere to go. That's where they just drop prisoners off, because there is a prison in Durham, and then there's also just like a prison, like a rehab or like a job center or whatever. So people just like live around, like a couple of blocks away, like around the prison in alleys and stuff. Which the Durham Bulls Stadium is catty corner to the prison and the courthouse.
Damn,
so
dude.
you were just like in the cut,
Boys in there cheering for the other boys across the street.
if you're in at the one side of the, like if you're on the one wing of the prison, you can see the games from the prison. Like, and it's like a 10, 12 story prison. So they're like
It's probably like the best seats in the house. You're
They're-
highly sought after.
they're pretty
I got
fucking-
stabbed by an Asian with a pixie stick for this fucking window.
yeah, right. It stole my skateboard. But yeah, they have this like really fucking chic modern stadium, and it's like the town is just a dog shit place. But you go there, and it's like this weird little like nugget of civilization where you're like every like, you know how like in a casino things are just like every little like nuance is minded after. There's always like like a hand sanitizer thing or like a water fountain, or like, if you're like, oh, you know what, like this is a good spot to watch the game and have a pretzel or a hot dog or something like that. There's a stand right
Most
there.
of them are pretty nice.
Yeah, like
and you go to
there's-
like Harris and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's like the Wild West. Like, it's just a nightmare. But there's some amenities that are like very heavily considered. I don't really know about like any of the sports stadiums around here having them. Like the PNC Arena is like another one. I think it's just like that Southern money. They just
I've been
dump
to the Devils Stadium
the
once.
Prusu.
Yeah.
That place is nice.
I got a funny story about that.
Go
I might
for
have
it.
told it on here like a long time ago, but I was hammered drunk. I was 15, stole a bunch of me mom's vodka.
Hell
had
yeah.
it in peach diet Snapple bottles, so it was like half vodka, half iced tea.
Jacob Palmer.
It was we rented a van, and it was like my sister's mom driving, and there was like 3 or 4 other adults, and there was like 4 rows of seating, so there was like probably 10 or 15 people in
Plenty
there.
of space to booze around.
They wouldn't stop to pee, so I drank both of these iced tea bottles, and the whole way up I just was like about to fucking piss my pants. That was just a horrible ride up. I'd been drinking all day at my grandparents too, so
Nice.
I was like already drunk. Anyway, I'm hammered, like 15-year-old sloppy. Like I don't know how I didn't get caught or what, but like you kind of just, when you're trying to just blend in back, you always do that, man. Just fucking say fuck your hemp wick. I'm firing this back up with
I
the
want
lighter.
chemicals.
I hate the taste. Anyway, what a fucking prick. Doesn't even ask. No, it's too late now. Just fucking do it. I'm hammered drunk, and I'll cut to the chase. Sorry. This is the Stone Tooth podcast.
Bloodtooth.
I'm shithouse. I'm trying to like blend in, so I'm just like, you sit between all the other like kids, like all the other teenagers. Like I'm sitting next to like Tyler, Jenna, and my sisters, like just trying to like blend in. We're all standing up for the national anthem. A black chick comes out to sing it. It's pitch quiet, and I go, ha ha, she's black. To which that was Tyler's reaction, and then everyone in our section just turns around and stares at me, and I was so embarrassed I sat down. It kind of ruined the rest of the night
Yeah,
for me.
I
I'm
think-
pretty sure the Flyers got pumped too. I'm like hungover on the ride home. Tyler was getting his dick sucked in the back row under a blanket, and I'm just like laying down in the seat,
Have a tummy ache.
hearing slurping, trying not to throw up. The spins. Dude.
Oh god, that sounds like a miserable nightmare.
Dude. Everyone was mad at me. Like everyone immediately turned on me, and I was just like, "Oh, I was just kidding around." The whole rest of the game, I just felt like everyone was just like judging me for my astute observation.
Brilliant observation. Apparently, when I was at a Phillies game when I was like 6, there was this.
I don't know why.
Here you go.
Sorry.
Little 6-year-old Joe was being racist. When I was like 6, my grandmother and my father thought it was funny to like name the players after like food items that you could get at the so obviously like hot dog.
What they call the walnuts.
Brazil nuts. No,
My bad.
toes.
You're getting warmer.
But yeah, so there was hot dog, pretzel, whatever. But like my dad would have like nicknames, like a relief pitcher would come in and be like cupcake, or whatever. But I just started yelling Oreo one day, and my dad's like, "Yo, shut up!" He's like, "Yo, shut up!" I'm like, and it wasn't like at a player directly or anything. I just started spouting off because I thought it'd be funny. And then when like everybody around you's mad because you're like that exact feeling.
And you push harder because you're a stupid little kid where you're like, what? It's just an Oreo. Like, what's the big deal?
I did, yeah, exactly.
Little half and half black, half white. Everyone likes it.
I did that once because my mom was very like astute about that too. She was always trying to be conscientious of people. And this one time, I was describing eating after you have breakfast and brush brushing your teeth after you have breakfast. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure.
That's the move.
I was like, I'm sure the ADA wouldn't agree with that. And there was like a lady within earshot in a wheelchair. And my mom was like, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, what, the ADA? And she's like, stop saying that.
What? I don't get it.
I didn't get it either until like years later. She was like, yeah, you started insulting that handicap lady about brushing her teeth for some reason. I never really got that. And I'm like, the American Dental Association? She's like, oh, I thought you were talking about the Americans with Disabilities Act. And I'm like, yeah, we were completely
That's like legal talk.
Yeah, completely like missed on that one. But like it was years later.
These fucking lazy handicaps don't brush their teeth. Like, what? She's probably like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, like Renee had no concept of. It's like, you know, you're a kid. They like a lot of
It's something you read on the side of the box of Crest. You're like, yeah, the ADA, fucking 9 out of 10 agree.
SpongeBob has a message from the ADA. His toothpaste is yellow. When the bubbles happen, your dick gets hard. You're in Bikini Bottom. The ADA approves of it. Whatever.
I don't know nothing, cocksucker.
Was I talking to you about if Sandy Cheeks was hot or not? Was that Yussel?
That was Yussel.
That was definitely Yussel. It's like
I'm on the fence.
She's in a little space suit.
Depends
It's
on
like,
what she's wearing.
Yeah, it's like she's in the space
She's
suit.
leaving a lot to the imagination there.
But like when she's at home just chilling, and then that
The
like
bikini.
top, yeah, I don't know, that little
I
southern.
can get her going. She was the only like female art presence on SpongeBob
Nah,
next to
Mrs. Puff.
I was gonna say Mrs. Puff.
Mrs. Puff could get
or
it. Man.
Pearl.
No,
So it's like,
Pearl, dude. Pearl could get it too.
you're weird.
Dude, Pearl.
Of the three, I think
Well,
Sandy
Pearl
Cheeks
was the
was the
most.
hottest.
Pearl was the most emotionally unstable. She was always crying. She's
Annoying.
the most
Annoying,
realistic
dude.
woman on the show.
Yes.
Mrs. Puff had a job and
Miss
was like,
Puff seemed like she'd be
menopausal.
cool.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
I don't know what that has to do with it. She always reminded me of my one bus driver that got us in a bus accident. Like we had to go to the hospital. Yeah, we had this bus driver that
Cindy?
Nah, it's
Pumpkin?
the one that looked like a killer clown from outer space.
I don't remember her.
I forget her fucking name.
Cindy was this big fat lady that had a tongue ring, but she was so cool. She would
No, this lady was not.
she would pick you up. She was always late, which
Use your-
actually once I knew that was great because it's like, oh, I don't have to go outside at 7:30. I can just wait till 7:50. This is awesome, or whatever the time was.
She ever used that tongue ring on you?
No.
Guess what else she was late on?
She was like 500 pounds, dude. But she
It would
was
be a
like
good
she was
threesome.
like white and had like purple hair. Like
Hell
she was
yeah.
just real fucking cool.
That wasn't our bus
she
driver.
she was so cool that she would pick you up at your fucking driveway. Like before, it was like everyone would meet at the Schulers, and then like there was like 5 of us, so we would all just like
Come on,
conglomerate
Shug.
at like she would just like leave you off at your fucking house.
Make it as
like,
long as it could, so because she doesn't have to walk
now
anymore.
when drivers do that, I get irate. Like when I'm behind a bus that stops, they do it in Summers Point. They stop every 3 fucking houses, and I'm like, couldn't there just be one fucking stop? Like,
Yes,
oh, dude, but
absolutely. Linwood's the worst with that too. Oh my fucking god, I avoid there between like 2 and 5. Like you can't fucking drive.
I don't think I've ever experienced over there, but
No, it's so bad.
in the
It's so bad.
neighborhood in Summers Point, like I was taking my son to daycare, I was doing a delivery or something, and this bus stopped like every half block, and I'm like, can y'all just every 5 blocks maybe?
Yeah,
like, just fucking.
You know, there's that like long stretch between like it's like no man's land, but it's right where fucking Clay's Climate Control is, like right on that stretch where there's like
they're stopping at every street.
There's like 2 streets there,
They
and they were
didn't do
stopping.
that when we were kids.
They
They would
stopped
stop
at the
like every-
funeral home. They're stopping at the fucking ice cream store. It's like there's no houses here. Why are you dropping kids off in the middle of nowhere? Like, but they're
Drop me off a Twist. I got to clock in.
I gotta clock in.
The economy's tough.
what the fuck were we talking about right before that? Because
Me being drunk at a Devils game. What stadiums you been to?
no, it was
Well,
it was something
What
to play off.
stadiums have you been to?
Well, like I said, the Durham Bulls was the coolest one I've ever been to, just because it was like all the amenities, but it's like you turn around, you do a 180. It's like I'm looking at a prison. You sit in the right field, you're staring
pretty
at
sweet.
ball game, and then incarcerated
I
people's
think
having a riot.
The
Like,
Sandcastle was pretty cool.
Sandcastle
as far
was
as having
dope, yeah.
like a night game. But when it was new, like it was sweet. I think for like pro sports, I think I've only been to the Philly stadiums. I don't think I've ever gone to like an away Flyers game or anything like that.
I went to the Nassau Coliseum a bunch. That place was also a shithole, but it had charm because it was a place where the fans genuinely loved that place. It was like the
Didn't they
Spectrum.
get rid of it?
They did. They renovated it or revamped it or something. I don't think they demolished it. I think they just like gave it a facelift. But they were at the Islanders were at the Barclays Center for a few seasons.
they
Now
had
I
to,
think
like,
they're
train in for like an hour or
They're-
something to get to the stadium.
What's funny is they were talking about demolishing my old neighborhood too to make like a pavilion, and Hempstead was just like, you're not like gentrifying anymore of Hempstead. Like, get your fucking white privilege bullshit out of here. They're like, but we're gonna put like an ethnic food store. They're like, no, it doesn't matter. Like, these are neighborhoods. Like, you're not doing that.
Yeah, fuck off.
It was kind of cool. Like it was kind of dope because it was like I've never had like a black person stand up for my rights as like a renter, but it was like kind of wild. It was fucking wild. Like it was like a wild time to be a fucking college kid there. Like,
She then went on to sing the national anthems at the New Jersey Devils games.
my fucking black realtor that sold me the house of that or rented us the house of that neighborhood told us that he used to smoke crack while we're signing the
I'm
lease.
in.
He's like, my name is Anthony. I am a realtor. I am sober. I spent 15 years smoking crack. Let's get this paperwork
That's
done.
someone who's
And we're
gonna
like,
who's gonna
he
fucking
was
shoot straight with you.
fucking us over. Are you kidding me? Every fucking step of the way.
I'm still on crack.
It's
I've
gonna
been sober from crack for 15 minutes, and I need more crack. Sign here.
It's gonna be $1,200 as the security deposit, $1,000 as the first and last month's rent, and then I'm gonna need another $300 to smoke crack.
Sign here.
This paperwork is
You can pay $300 worth of crack. If you have
You
crack.
can either put a down payment in money order, check, or crack. I regret to inform you all of the contracts is on bar napkins because I done lost it. So we're just gonna go to the notary's office, aka the alley behind the liquor store, and we're gonna get us.
I'm gonna suck all your dicks with crack.
We're gonna get this paperwork filled out.
You ever have your dick sucked with an ice cube?
You're going to be getting a phone call in about 2 to 5 days. That will be my parole officer. Do not mention that I said anything about smoking crack. Do, however, mention that I sold him this lovely house.
I would like my 3% in crack.
There was a fat black lady too named her name was like Nene or Tay or something like that. But it's like one of those fucking. She was a great lady too. She was the best part of it. But she introduced us to our realtor guy, and she was clearly
Some
making
names that
commission.
are too on the nose.
Exactly. And she was like,
My name, Nene.
looked like Precious drove a fucking Kia Fit. Like, did not Kia
Nissan
Fit.
Altima.
Did not Kia Fit into it.
Oh man, does Lakia fit?
No. Holy
La
fucking shit.
Hyundai.
I want to do more Anthony. Like, I want more things for him to sell. Sir, would you like to buy some cologne? I'm selling Girl
This
Scout
podcast
cookies.
is sponsored by Stewart's Handyman Services. You can pay him in crack.
You just chipped the tooth.
He's missing a front tooth. He looks like he smokes crack.
Go to Rob's
You
dentist.
could pull that look off. You could be Stav, skinny Stav, just missing the front
I
tooth.
kinda have
grow out the
Stav.
long hair.
I kind of have a stabby disposition today. If it wasn't for the fucking
You're like Stav if you took up intermittent fasting and was Italian instead of Greek.
intermittent depression.
Yeah.
Walk him 10 feet away and then I fucking curb stomped him. Fucking walk.
Show that fucking monster's fucking.
And then I was like, bah, 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 bah.
I'm gonna fucking kill
You
you.
gotta make sure.
There was those big gnarly ones at the end of the season last year that they're like when the leaves fall or whatever, they're like not they look for like the fucking like dead leaves and shit to bring back and make their nests out of it. I had like a dozen of them come into my house and just be like all confused because it's cold outside and then they start warming up and I have to just like hit them with a flip flop and they explode.
That's like the number one weapon of choice for killing wasps.
Chingala.
Chingala madre.
So let's do the NASCAR segment because I am in complete disbelief that there is a resounding negativity like from
No
the-
one's complaining about the end of the race. That's great. They're all just. It was the same complaints with Daytona about
Fuel economy.
fuel saving strategy, which like it's what you have to do to win, and like it's just they're just trying to make like I don't fault the teams for doing it. It's just I don't know. People complain about the car too. Like it's just
What about the
apparently-
car?
It's
Was it that
it's
brushing
not
thing?
so it's not a stock car anymore. It's like basically like a V8 supercar with like a NASCAR body on it. Like it's a totally different. So it's just like apparently it's like not as conducive to passing and just like classic style like NASCAR racing where it's just a totally different ball game. I don't know how to like iterate this properly, but
So I from the one commentator made a comment when they were doing the straight line that ended up wiping the dude out with Bubba Wallace and
like
everything.
single file.
So he was saying that
Gnarly
it was like
hit.
it was like a drafting thing, but the way that the front ends on I think the Fords he was saying and the Camrys they're like so different that they like lock up when they get real close like that, and that's why like you got to bump to get like
They
your
probably
spot
make
to
that on
dra-
purpose.
But like but he was like saying that like they're like a big complaint was that or not like a big complaint. He's saying something about like that they were like they lock up too easy when you're drafting, and if you get too close, you're gonna bump or you're gonna hit them from the rear, obviously. But
they
like,
they do that on the straightaways. They literally give each other pushes forward.
and like
but What happened on that one was Hunter Nemechek was, and he's not a rookie, but he's like a new. He
Novice.
was a rookie, and then he got bumped. He was in like subpar equipment, got bumped back down to trucks, made his way up from trucks to Xfinity, won like 9 races in Xfinity last year, didn't win the championship actually, but was like the
contender.
favorite. He was like the favorite. Like he was lights out in
Cool.
Xfinity. 9 wins in a season's a lot. He got like wrecked out in the final race or something. Anyway, makes his way back up to Cup, but again, he's on what the hell? Legend something?
Legend of Zelda.
No, what the fuck? It's Jimmy Johnson and Richard Petty Legacy Motor Club. It's Jimmy Johnson, Richard Petty, and then I think Chip Ganassi.
Was that?
It's like a old famous owner. Richard Petty, Jimmy Johnson, both 7-time champions.
Go on now.
Anyway, they're like a newer starting up team. They just switched manufacturers to Toyota. They just haven't run well, Legacy Motor Club. So it's a newer guy in startup team equipment, and like just kind of like a Bush League move, was pushing into the corner and kind of got everyone all turned around.
It was a,
So like
it was a pretty big.
the very long-winded. I'm fucking baked. Very long-winded way to say that, but yeah, basically, John Hunter Nemechek made a mistake by you can't do those pushes while you're turning for
Yeah.
obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So, but they do. They call it bump drafting down the straightaways, and Keselowski was literally giving. I was watching it last night. I rewatched. Giving McDowell just big shoves down the fucking, because Reddick was on the right line. It was like Truex and Reddick.
Yeah.
Which I liked it because whoever won, I was happy. Like I wanted McDowell to win. I wanted Keselowski to win. I like Tyler Reddick. I like Truex. Like everyone up there, I'm like, this doesn't end bad for me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Then
that
everything's coming up Spinhouse.
if he would have snuck, and I think he has one like that. But if he would have snuck through and
That would've
stole a
been
win,
great.
dude,
That
because
would've been great.
if that whole thing got bogged up,
You would have
and
burned
he just went around.
Burned this hat while it's on my head.
No, I wouldn't. I would have been stoked.
I have never had such an electric reaction to I've been to live racing at Boardwalk Hall. I've watched a couple of races this year. Like I
There's
remember
nothing like super speedway
But
racing.
dude,
racing.
that was like the only context to this that I have in reality is that I've seen Talladega Nights like a dozen times, and I know there's that scene where the last scene is like they wreck the entire field with just like 2 laps to go, and it's just him and Ali G fucking
racing?
Yeah. And so. I'm like, there's got like, it's not that there's probably going to be that dramatic. There's probably going to be
Carl Edwards did that in real life like 10 years ago.
it's like flying through the air and shit.
No, they wrecked coming across the line. And like
And they
by the
got
time
out
he
of their
got out
car
of it,
and-
he finally, like after like all the cars went by and stuff, like once the safety crews or whatever got him out of his car, he sprinted the half mile to the finish line.
He-
And, like,
he
the crowd was
dove.
going nuts. No, he didn't dive. He was in last. Like he just something to be said about
That's
finishing
fucking
the race.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love it, man. That's fucking great. That was just that dynamic. Like I just had in my head, I'm like, yeah, like there's probably gonna be like some wreckage or whatever. And I was watching the race because you put it in my head that like Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is like a good super speedway driver.
That's his specialty. That's where
his,
most of his wins have taken
That's
place.
his wheelhouse.
He
Would you
doesn't.
say his Ricky wheelhouse?
Yeah, Ricky Wheelhouse Jr.
So, yeah, I'm just watching because he's like he started in 33rd.
He's kind of a hack everywhere else.
And then Ricky Millhouse.
I don't know. I can't talk shit. I'm not.
I
It's real easy to be armchair quarterback. He's obviously a good driver if he's in NASCAR, but like
it started in 33rd
my
and finished
go-to
4th.
argument is like you can always blame the equipment. It's like he's just on like a single car
Well,
team that's not a big.
He was doing great. He was gaining positions. He kept like pretty much holding every time he would overtake like a big chunk of the pack. He would hold it.
He's
and I'm
really
like,
good at drafting.
And I'm like, dude, like I don't know anything about what's going on right now other than that I know what his car looks like and it's not too far. It's in the main shot where they have the front runners.
Normally,
and I'm like,
week in and week out as a Stenhouse fan, you probably don't even know
never
he
seen
exists.
that before. That's a new experience for tacos. And I'm like fucking electric right now because I'm like, he's all the way in the
It's-
back. And
it's so
like,
exciting
But I can
when-
see him and like.
Yeah, when you're rooting for a guy like an underdog and they finally
I was rooting
have
for $6. You know, let's be real.
Okay.
And a hat.
who do I like? I like who I bet on this
Yeah.
week.
Well, no, it was just like it was like you said he does good at super speedways. I put him in the top 5. Sure enough, fucking top 5. It's like any other bet with him probably would have fucking floundered, but that specific one, it was like, wow, I fucking lucked out.
That was a great.
And he-
I didn't even when I rewatched on DVR last night. I didn't see that replay that you showed me. Like I was trying to pick him out or whatever. Like that shot you sent me was perfect. Like it's just calamity, and then Ricky Stenhouse through the dust, just like he's escaping the stampede in the Lion King. Like he just comes breaking through.
He's the
dude.
Millennium Falcon coming out of the Death Star while it's
Go high,
blowing up.
go low. Like yeah, he just behind him comes zipping across the line.
Dude, that was great.
I thought it. So I was happy that it ended under green because I was worried that it was going to be like one of these, like who was in front when the light came on, like because that's how it plays out.
Yeah.
Like, say that happened way earlier in the lap. They're not near the line, and obviously a yellow's going to come out. The winner is going to be determined by who was in front, not when the wreck happened, when the judge in the booth hit the button.
right.
When that light first comes on, whoever's in front.
So he had like a millisecond of, like he had a few seconds maybe of, like time before that, or with that
no,
last.
it still would have worked out fine.
Oh, okay,
'cause
okay.
He got through.
Oh,
but-
okay. Because there's not
Yeah.
another lap behind it, right? Because if it would have gone under caution, it would have helped.
Yeah, like instead of that happening in turn 4, say it happened in turn 1 or whatever, like the field's frozen. Like it's the overtime rule. Like once they get to the white flag, then the next flag ends it. So it will end under caution if they make it to the white. But
didn't end that
I-
way.
yeah, I was worried because I did see the yellow caution lights on after, and I was like, are they going to be like, well, this guy was ahead when the light came on, like, but it wasn't even close. Reddick was ahead, and he took it all the way to the line anyway. They did not lift. Like they're wrecking behind you, like we're fucking hammering out. But I don't think that's a NASCAR term. Anyway,
Wrecking behind you.
no, hammering out.
Hammering
we're
out.
hammering out.
We're
dude.
hammering out,
No
dude.
one says that.
We're
dude.
hammered. Let's get hammered, bro.
I wrote this. I have like no notes this week actually. I don't know why, but I wrote this right after I watched the race at like 2 a.m. It was like first 2 stages run clean, fuel saving, and then I'm ADD. I love super speedway racing. I love watching the lines for it. Like I love when like I don't know. It's crazy to watch them just going back and forth, and then like someone else takes the chance and goes out, and people start following them in this third line. It's like, oh, we're fucking coming, bitch. So like people are going from like 20th to like first, and then they get shuffled back, and like it's
Yeah.
just like this constant like chess match of like there's a guy, the guy in the front's just fucking blocking 2 lanes at once. Like,
Yeah.
this guy's catching up. Nope, fuck you. And then it's back. Like, I don't know. I love that it's different than anything else. Like, it's different than any
Yeah.
other racing in the world. Like, I know they draft an IndyCar and F1 and shit like that, but it's just this style car on a 2.5 mile track doing 200 fucking miles an hour on a
Yeah.
fucking in like a boat. Like, it's not like a
Yeah.
jet. Like, it's like
You're
they're flying fucking bumper cars at 200 miles an hour. Like, it's,
They're driving the go-karts that we were doing on map
No.
6, map 16.
they're driving fucking Lamborghinis. That's the equivalent now. where
Lamborghinis.
Stock cars before were like, it was a fucking NASCAR stock car. Like now it's like they're driving like a fucking Lambo. Like it's just a completely different car with just like a NASCAR body on it.
Well,
It's like a sports car.
I
Anyway,
liked it.
yeah,
I thought it was good going 200
people
miles.
people
like,
always
200 miles per hour at least. Like, cause like the last
I
few
did
races,
not like the fuel saving aspect of it.
like I didn't
But-
notice it enough because I had it on mute most of the time. I was listening to a podcast in the background, and I just like had it on mute. I didn't even know that they just were showing like the one
Yeah,
graphic.
if you don't hear Kevin Harvick and Clint Boyer constantly talking about fuel saving, you might not even notice it. But it's just like all the Fox broadcast gets a lot of flack. Apparently not very popular amongst the fans.
Really?
My biggest complaint with Fox, they do miss some things sometimes, but I understand that it's probably difficult to like get everything in
Yeah.
frame, and like I think they're paid money obviously by certain sponsors. Like in order to be on TV as the team or the sponsor, they have to pay Fox money.
probably.
No, 100%.
Oh, okay.
So like they just won't, even if you're like a back marker, like they won't show you or mention you at all unless you pay like this fucking, they called it like a ransom fee basically. Like,
Damn.
To like be on TV. Like there was teams that didn't do it back in the day, and they just weren't, you wouldn't even know they were there. Like they would be on the scoring pylon, like that's it. Like they won't even mention it. Anyway,
We got to be that team. We got to sponsor a NASCAR and be the Blacktooth one, then bring our own pylon, and then start
it's
our
so
own
much
network.
money.
It doesn't matter. We're doing it.
We could do like maybe an ARCA car, but Cup, it's got to be like 7 figures.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fucking
We got 83 subs. Like, come on, everybody, fork over some money. We're gonna get a NASCAR.
Anyway, I forget where we were going with that.
Did you watch any good movies this week?
No, I still got NASCAR shit.
You still got NASCAR shit?
Yeah. Happy for Tyler Reddick. Bomb from McDowell, Keselowski. Kyle Larson, cheater. Did you you had it on mute, so you didn't hear that anything about that?
No, what happened there?
So qualifying was on Saturday, and he was DQ'd from qualifying.
Put helium in his tires.
They were doing some type of illegal modification to the roof rails on the walk from the garage. Like after they got inspected, they were walking it down. They were
Doing something sketchy.
like putting fucking Vaseline on the fucking wing, or I don't know what they were doing while walking a car down the track, but they were doing
They're doing
an
something.
illegal modification. I don't like that. I know every team cheats, but like
What are you
Larson
doing?
wins a lot, so it's like they fucking cheat all the time. Like
Yeah, come on, Bucky
Jimmy
Larson.
Johnson's a 7-time champion, and like him and Chad Knaus, not him, I guess he wasn't the one cheating, but his crew chief Chad Knaus is like one of the most known serial cheaters in NASCAR. Like there's radio transmissions back in the day of like, if you win this race, like there was an in-car camera, and it's him, his crew chief kneeling down next to the car before the race. He's like, if you win this race, you got to smash the back end of it up.
Damn.
Like back it into the wall doing a donut, just to be safe. So like, they got like known cheating, and like
What does
I
that
don't like-
mean? Just out of curiosity.
They did some type of illegal modification to the back end of the car to make it go faster.
Oh.
And I'm gonna need you to smash it up so they can't
to
prove
hide
it.
the evidence.
Yeah, like they might have bent the spoiler 3 degrees. Like it's minute modifications that make all the difference in the world, especially on like super speedways, drafting tracks, like where the air, blah blah blah, like the aerodynamics. Like they're not making gains as far as horsepower. They're making up speed by being more aerodynamic, and like that's how, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, so did you watch after the race? Kyle Larson, cheater. He got fucking the fuck. I thought I deleted everything. he had to start in the tail end, wasn't allowed to qualify, and then had a 1-lap penalty in the beginning of the race.
Okay.
And by the second stage, he was already up to second. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Whatever.
that's-
That Vaseline's working hard.
No, that's one of the things, like, there's something I watched this week where it was a guy complaining about he doesn't like there's no, I don't know if the word's attrition or something in NASCAR, but like if you watch football, like, you know, you're watching the best athletes in the world.
Yes.
But like with NASCAR, he was complaining as far as like some guys get rides solely because they have sponsorship money. But I look at it as like an equipment issue. Like everyone says like all the cars are the same, but like they're not. Like they're clearly not. That's why fucking Harrison Burton's riding around in the back every week, and like it's not. I'm sure skill plays some issue, but like there's just, they say like they call them slow cars. Right? Like it's just like, I feel like they should all be like the exact same. And I know people say that they shouldn't. That's why there's no passing, because the cars are, because at the top level they are pretty close. But like, why is there 10 cars in the back that can't go as fast as, like, I don't know. I hate how like some drivers' careers are like, they're just looked at as like a Ricky Stenhouse, like someone who's not a good driver, and it's just like he could be like the best driver in the world just in like mid-tier equipment,
better
like,
equipment,
just
yeah.
in backmarker equipment. And like
get-
Kenny Wallace never had a cup win, and it was just like he was one of those guys who was just bouncing around with backmarker teams, and it's just like never really got a good ride. So it's like he's a great driver. It's just like, I don't know. I like that those smaller budget teams get to go racing. Like, I'm not knocking them for it, but it's just like I wish they had a better shake.
I want you to
bigger name teams.
Go back to the point you made though about it being the attrition, because I like that the notion that like, yeah, when you're watching baseball or football or whatever,
you know,
you're
it's the
watching
best
too
athletes. But I disagree with that, because there's a lot of nepotism involved
in
sports.
In
general.
nepotism in general, like you mean, so like nepotism, would you say outweighs
The thing I used to hear was like, so James Van Riemsdyk's little brother made it to the show,
Right.
and I had buddies who play with him who were like, he fucking sucks. Like, he's not even good. How did he make it that far? And it's like apparently because they're like rich and like have connections in the NHL, and they got him a look. And like, I don't know. So it's just like shit like that where it happens on a mass scale all the time. Where it's like, I'm not saying like obviously people in the NHL are sick, but I'm sure there is some level of people there
that have bribed or fucked or whatever their way to the top without their skills speaking. That's their wallet or their.
They definitely got a boost.
connections.
They may be an average player or whatever, but like they're there because of who they are, not because of what they do.
Yeah.
Like, he's my favorite driver, but
Ricky Stenhouse Jr.?
I don't think Dale Jr. makes it to NASCAR if his dad isn't Dale Sr. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Like,
Yeah.
he didn't really race much as a kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he got into it late. like he might have been like a great short track late model driver, but like to make the jump from like local short track to like fucking NASCAR racing, you like have to know someone.
Here's the thing though that I think like, and this is from my perspective, is like I've now driven karts with you guys. I've never doubted that there is not athleticism to, like, I'm not, this isn't that argument. I'm just saying though that when you have a game or a sport that is so heavily contingent on mechanics and mechanical issues being what is, well, like, because you always talk every week about the tires. It's like the fresher the tires, the better the car. And like you always are like, if back in the day when they had more HP, they're running 1,000 HP cars. It's like you had a better sport. So the mechanical issues are always like what bogs a sport like NASCAR down. Much like where you don't have as much of like, you don't have the same issue with like hockey players and their skates or football players.
Generally speaking, it's a non-issue.
Generally speaking, it's not. But like I said, like NASCAR specifically, there is such a contingency on. Well, it's a car.
Than a stick and ball sport.
But it's like what I mean is that if you have more money. Yeah. Regardless, like that, it more directly translates to it. Where like you can be someone that's like wealthy and still go like as far as like someone like Mike Trout did, but you're not like there's a certain point where your actions will speak louder than your words. Like where are you going to
get beat out by some dude from fucking the Caribbean?
Yeah,
fucking throws heat.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
And like you're like not everything pans out the way it's supposed to. But with NASCAR, I think it limits the liability. I think more because it is a sport where your machinery.
Like Kenny Wallace posted a clip. It wasn't. He's like, I'm releasing the full episode this week, but I forget who the guest was. It was some major figure in sports, and he's like, I'm not going to say who, but someone in the current NASCAR garage said about, half these guys are the best drivers in the world, and then the other half of these guys are here because they bring sponsorship money. Like their uncle owns IKEA, and we get the IKEA logo and $7 million a year on the front of that car. Like in order to get a ride with a lot of the big teams, you have to bring a sponsor with you. Like back in the heyday of NASCAR when there was more money being thrown around than fucking God, like they just picked a driver based on like his talent. A lot of times, like I'm sure there was still
some nepotism,
which it's gonna happen in anything. Like,
absolutely.
Like you want to take care of your kids and shit. Like I don't know. I see both sides of it, but the team, like they would just pick a driver and then the team would go out and get a sponsor. Like a lot of these guys bring their own sponsors like with them, and that's kind of like a big part. Like Martin Truex sponsors Auto Traders Insurance, and
you got a spider on your head.
And fucking I saw you looking at me weird. I'm like, what did I say? And he's got Bass Pro Shop, which we were talking about earlier, but like he brought them with him from his previous team that went defunct before he went to Gibbs. Anyway, it's a different, I don't know, but like then again, hockey equipment, maybe $2,000 for the set. The car they're racing in, probably $1 million car.
Yeah, like, so it's comparing.
It's so
apples
you have
to sports
have money.
Cars,
You have to have money to race. This isn't like a fucking charity. So like, I don't know. I'm not gonna like complain too much on that, but like that argument about the attrition level in NASCAR, where it's like I want to see the best drivers. I want to know what I'm watching is the best drivers in the world.
Yeah.
That's what this guy was.
That's a good point. I think it's a very fair point too.
It sparked my brain where my complaint is like I want to see them in competitive equipment. Like I hate how like Hendrick and like I'm a Gibbs fan, but like Gibbs, they've won every race this year except yesterday was 2311, which it's Gibbs light. It's like Gibbs affiliate team. Anyway,
Okay.
Michael Jordan's team, which segues me to my next bullet
There was
point.
a lot of
Michael Jordan suck fest.
I didn't even have
the whole. They paid more attention to Michael Jordan than fucking the guy Tyler Reddick who won the cocksucking race. Like
that was a lot. That was where I turned the fucking television off because it was like it ends. I was like I want to see some of this some of the post
MJ
crash shit.
holding
It's like
Reddick's son between like
super
Daddy did
fucking
a good
weird.
job. Like it was totally fucking like it's a cool moment for the kid to look back on, but like. They were just so... But, I mean, I guess he's a team owner. He's spending millions of dollars in NASCAR. He sponsors multiple cars, so he's spending millions of dollars in that way. So it's like...
Plus, people freak out when he's around, so he probably draws good viewership to the sport regardless.
It's a DEI hire, dude.
Exactly.
Which every time they say DEI, my whole childhood growing up, DEI was Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, which was Dale Earnhardt's team, which Dale Jr. drove for, Michael Waltrip, and Steve Park, and the one car had a rotating cast. Steve Park got hurt. Anyway, but I hear DEI now, and it's just like it's referring to like
equity inclusion.
I didn't know that though. So like I knew they weren't talking about Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. It was Joe Rogan.
Why
and,
are
like
they
some,
hiring
It was
so-
some like
Dale-
college. It was
Dale
some college
Earnhardt.
professor, and they were talking about like some fucking bullshit, like race.
They got a lot of
something.
purple hairs working for Dale this
And
year.
they just kept saying DEI, and I'm picturing like Dale Earnhardt's race team. I'm like, why are they talking about
you got a trans guy.
this guy
on-
doesn't strike me as a Dale fan, dude. Like, yeah, I love I
Tried
love
to-
DEI. I love
half the
race.
team's
I'm
trying
like,
to sit on the pole and get position.
anyway, yeah, that's where every time I hear DEI, I think of fucking Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, which his widow fucked off, and I think they merged. I think it's part of Legacy Motor Club technically, but I think it was sold to Chip Ganassi and the Ganassi.
What's
There's
that?
been so many mergers with teams.
Who's
like,
getting murdered?
I don't know. Jordan Suckfest. Too many commercials. That's the biggest complaint.
That was why
And
I
agree.
muted it. I muted it because of that.
It's very annoying.
They kept going to this weird camera angle too.
I
where
watched I literally watched. I prefer the stream, dd12.com. They have the international one, which is the Dubai stream, and there's no commercials. It's amazing, dude. They just keep showing the race.
the
Like,
9 and 11 car get heavy focused.
but that's if I'm watching live on my phone, and I was working. I had a tough time watching it, so I go home and watch DVR, and it's just like every 5 laps, I'm fucking fast forwarding commercials. I'm like, dude, it's like, and that's the biggest complaint. Like everyone's
I had to
unanimous.
shut the fucking audio off
And it's
because
just
they
whopper. It's the same fucking.
they throw so they threw it to this weird camera angle. Where as a cinema dork, I know what they're doing. They have a camera on like a track, like a railroad track, and it's got like a big arm, and they put it on the one. I think it was like turn 3, so the one that was like coming by the grandstands, and it was like every time they were gonna throw it to commercial, they'd go to that stupid fucking camera angle, and you'd miss like all I'm looking for is Stenhouse. When it goes to the static angle, you could see Stenhouse. Give me the fucking static angle.
The zoom you're talking about?
It's not like a zoom. It's like they're coming, and then the camera's
It was a
going.
drone.
Oh, it's a drone.
Yeah.
Okay, it looked horrible. It was a fucking horrible camera angle, and
They had it look really cool for the Busch race when the guy who won was doing donuts. It was Jesse Love, his first Xfinity win. That was a really good race too. Xfinity, I put it somewhere in here. Puts on a fucking barn burner every week, dude. Great fucking Xfinity race. Shout out to Jesse Love getting his first win. But they had the drone when he's doing his donuts on the finish line. When he gets his first win, he's all pumped. He's fucking burning it down, and the drone is like following him around. It was like a really cool camera angle. And then they did it for Tyler Reddick's, and Tyler Reddick like fucked up his burnout, and it just like they cut away from it. Like he like stalled. Like
let's go to Michael Jordan.
he like went to the grass and like just totally like you could see what he was trying to do, and he just lost it and then stalled it, and like the drone just like flew away. Like it was like fuck you. Flew over to Michael Jordan's fat head and fucking started
My name
sucking
is
him
Michael
off.
Jordan. I spent all of my crack money on this race car.
I was watching the teardown this morning. And it
What's the
was like,
teardown?
I've mentioned it on here before. It's one of the big. It's 2 writers, NASCAR like beat writers, and they have a.
Oh, they're
podcast.
writers like it's wrestling because it's scripted.
No, like,
Every week, Truex wins.
they write for the Athletic. Jeff Gluck and Jordan Bianchi. They have a podcast on Dale Jr.'s network, and they're the first one. They do it like right after the race. You know what I mean? It's uploaded like a few hours after. They call it the teardown. Like they just talk about it while it's fresh.
Well, they're getting teared down.
Yeah, and I forget why I brought them up. Fucking, I was watching that. What would you,
Drones, and then something mentioned on the teardown.
fuck, damn it! I totally blanked.
It's probably in your notes.
It's not.
Viewership, advertisement,
No, I lost
penis.
it. Anyway,
I lost that too.
Fuck. It was fresh, and then I fucking. There was a reason. Anyway,
What else
about
you got?
NASCAR? Oh, yeah, I watched the race while checking out ShopRite, and the lady looked at me like I had 3 fucking heads because I couldn't watch it. I was working. Like it was really hard for me to like dial in and watch, but I was listening to Boyer and Mike Joy and Harvick in my ear the whole time. Like I had a little thumbnail on my phone, so I was trying to like. But on super speedway racing, you have to be watching the whole time.
It's got to be a big screen experience.
Yeah, it's so much better on TV. But I'm hearing like white flags, so like I stop what I'm doing in the fucking checkout line, and I'm just sitting there like full screen on my phone, just holding up the line. Like I'm watching this last 45 seconds, and they come to the white, and I'm like, oh fuck! And the lady was like, what? Like just looking at me like I'm nuts.
You're
I'm like,
hideous.
I'm like, they're wrecking across the line. And she's like, what? And I show her, and she's like,
Oh,
she was literally like, I don't care at all. And I was just
I'm
like,
at work.
I was like, I've been watching this for 3 hours. And then I had a NASCAR hat, NASCAR shirt. And she was just like, this fucking dork. Like, so yeah, that was
If you want to feel better about that, this one time I ended up having to play
don't care.
a poker tournament in on my phone, and I needed to go to Wawa for something, and I went to Wawa and I'm playing the poker tournament. I was like, I just got pocket aces or something like that. I go, pocket kings. The guy's like, dude, like you're holding the line up. Come on,
Yeah,
like
hurry up.
I got to go back to smoking.
Go back to sweeping litter in the parking lot.
Yeah, I got to go back to pumping gas with trash can.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, that fucking
Can I tell you a minor?
that totally
Can I tell you-
jammed me up.
I know.
Not being able to remember that point.
Can I make a minor gripe to you, because you're a parent, and this is something that genuinely irritates me as a non-parent, like a non-child having person, and I don't know if you pick up on it. I know you probably will, like you're going to have your kid play sports, but can we cut it out
Just
with
trying to get him to talk.
yeah. Can we cut it out with the pretending like your 12-year-old little leaguer needs like player development on par with like that of the major leagues, like, or like college or even high
What do you
school?
mean? Like doing like
So like
personal training and shit?
they're like is like a whole. When I played baseball over at Caldwell Park when I was these kids' ages, we had a batting cage that was outside, and we had two really crappy fields. We had one field that was like sort of taken care of, and then we had one field where
The one
sometimes
by the football field was kind of dumpy.
it would the fucking fence would fall down. There were some seasons where there was no panels on that fence. You could, and the ball would just be a ground rule double. If you hit it hard enough up the center, it would roll down the hill. And they'd just
House
be like,
rules.
yeah, just like ground rule double, whatever. And then the one field we were like,
Call
oh,
it the hometown bounce.
yeah, like
They had
we-
that in hockey. One of the boards by the Zamboni door was like dead, so
So
you
you
could like rifle it off of it, and it
It
would
just-
just bounce right.
yeah.
And it would be like that's how you would like dump it in and get good like.
because it looks like it's
positioning.
gonna go up and
Looks
out
like it's
or
gonna-
whatever, but
not go out, but like it looks like it's gonna like bounce way far out, but it just kind of like
Thuds.
thuds. So it's like
Nice.
yeah, I don't know. The hometown bounce. And there was also a big crack in the door where your stick would get caught and break. Immediately. I broke like 3 sticks. You're trying to fish out the puck, and it's like
It was-
Yeah.
damn it! Now I have an errand. But yeah, that we had like the biggest feat was that they put lights on the one field, and that was when
that
I
was
was
the
like,
nice one where they had the sponsors. It's in the back
yeah,
corner.
and like that was like a big thing
Smoked
is that
pot
they
there in
put
high school.
yeah, same. That's right. I think I was like one of the first places I smoked pot actually.
We had Nick Tozer had like this 2-foot bomb, and we'd just be walking out with this big glass, fucking blue, like it stuck out like a sore thumb. And he's just walking back with it, like to the car. Like there's like families, like thinking about that now, like Caldwell Park in the daytime in nice weather, and we're just walking around with like a fucking
CJ and I went out there with a bull, and we didn't box obviously, but there's no wind the day we were out there, so like you could just see smoke billowing out of the dugout. And, like, we just
like
two
a
of us,
family trying to go on a walk.
yeah, just was like just walking to his car, like yeah. But no, they're like, so the biggest thing was like, they got lights. Like lights was a big deal. These kids now have like an entire indoor pitching facility, a
Over here.
covered fucking like
That's
two
our tax
lane.
dollars of work, Joe.
Bro, fuck your fucking kids. Your kids aren't gonna get to the majors. I want to run my fucking dog once every now and then in the park. And there's like 9 fucking utility trucks painting lines on a softball field that doesn't even get games played on it. Who are we helping here? Like they're just
For the
making
children,
it's
Joe.
just making
That's your
work.
gripe against kids.
Yeah, well, no, it's like a gripe because what it is, I know it's fueled by the parents.
it's some parent
No, it's
on, like,
it's like 1 or 2 or 3 parents. It's a handful of parents, let's say, that it's like they're living vicariously through their kids' sports. So like when they were a kid, they wanted to have like a pitching developmental center and a batting cage that was covered with the AstroTurf and like these fields that like even though they're not playing a game on it, they still have the lines down. We would be lucky to get lines down on the field for game day, and like it's not the tax money so much as it's like. It jams,
That's what it is to me. How much did that fucking thing cost to build?
well, it's fucking expensive, man. It's probably like $1 million right there, like
That's
just all that
crazy.
shit. Like, but then like all the maintenance that
fucking
goes
rec
into
baseball.
it for recreational Upper Township Little League. Mike Trout's not even from this fucking county. Neither is that fucking dude from mainland. Like, stop pandering.
Koya Stevenson was drafted by the Phillies.
Who's that?
The kid, the grade
Mainland?
above me. No,
Oh.
he's in Ocean City.
Oh, whatever.
Apparently, his dad was like a cameraman, so it was like a
Filming all the kids.
He was the last pick in the. You can look him up. The 2012 draft. Kid throws heat. I'm not talking shit on him. He
No,
was
right
drafted,
on.
but the rumor was back then that like he was only drafted because his dad works for the Phillies. Like
More
he never,
nepotism.
I think he might have played AAA or something. He never like advanced, but
Yeah.
yeah, that goes to show nepotism. But
It's like-
kid did throw fucking heat. He was like the best pitcher in that 2011 class. Like he was like the Roy Halladay of the Cal. Like he was throwing fucking noes.
He was
like,
an old
left and
man.
right, dude. He crashed a plane into a lake. What a fucking holiday that was.
Holiday in Cambodia. It's a Roy Holiday in Cambodia.
Douche way to die.
Well, what's his name? The guy from the fucking Yankees did that too. I looked it up on the podcast a fucking few years ago when we did it. But anyway, yeah, some guy hit a building with his plane.
No, this wasn't Roy. He was like, the rumor was he was like showboating. Like he was out there doing like
Hot dogging?
aerial tricks. Yeah, he was hot
It
dogging.
was hot, dude. Hot dog
He
will get
flew
you.
too close to the
He's-
sun.
He fucking shit.
Got the sun in his eyes.
Shit Icarus. Yeah. Now I'm derailed. I don't even know what I was fucking talking about.
We smoked too much
We
weed.
smoked
I
way
rolled this
too-
thing last night. It was like a thumb, and I'm like, this is what we're
This is
like
what
on
we're
this
smoking all the
podcast.
pot, dude. We're gonna finish this bottle before we get to the casino, and then we get a Dewey before we leave Upper Township. But anyway, I don't even fucking know. We're at like 2 hours. I gotta fucking piss and take the dog out and everything. You got any
I've
other subjects?
completely lost steam. I have like nothing.
Yeah.
The fun one was geezers going off at
Yeah, that was a
staff.
Walmart or Home
Wow
Depot.
rolls were better back in the day.
I liked it.
I could get my cold cuts. I would order by word of mouth.
Oh, okay. Wait, I got one just because we haven't talked about it on the
I
podcast.
cussed out a deli worker at ShopRite.
When?
I went full geese yesterday.
Really?
Some fucking punk kid. I think I told you about it. So it was. I'm trying to get home.
So there I am.
I'm
Here
Here I am. ShopRite.
2 p.m. on a
Two
Sunday.
customers, 2 different apps. I'm already annoyed. Ended up paying me like close to $50, but it's what should have taken me like a half an hour took me like an hour and 15 just because incompetent fucking deli workers that they just had me standing there for like 10, 15 like plus minutes. And so normally so you go to order the deli meat either on your phone before you get there or like on the touchscreen thing when you get there, and it goes to the same system.
Right.
And like it'll have a estimated time, and the next estimated time was this morning at 7:15 a.m. And I was like,
Sure.
I need this in like 20 minutes. Like, what the fuck? So what the ladies there told me to do. So I did this before I ordered it, and then I was like, it was an hour later, and I was like, hey, is there an order for Jake? And they're like,
No.
that's not set to be made till tomorrow morning. And I'm like, well, I don't know. And they were like, look, when that happens, just come in, grab a ticket, do it old school. You'll get your stuff right away. Versus like they're like, you might have to wait, but like if it's if the system's that backed up, like you're not going to get it. Well, so I do that. I go in. I'm like, I look at my phone. I'm like, I can't get this stuff until tomorrow. Like, fuck it. I'm just gonna go in, and I'm gonna have to wait. It sucks. Like, it really like they take fucking forever at ShopRite Deli. I don't know why, but so I stand there for a good 15 minutes, which isn't like that's par for the course here. I'm just waiting it out. There's other people waiting and stuff, and the kid who watched me go take a ticket and stand there with it like blatantly in my hand out. After 15 minutes, he's like, "What name are you waiting for?" I'm like, I'm not. Like, I took a ticket. I'm going to tell you my order. He's like, oh, we're not doing that right now. He's like, we're only taking
Ticket
orders on the tablet. And I'm like, well, it says 7:15 tomorrow. Like, he's like,
It's tough, kid.
yeah. I'm like, what? I'm like, I have like 4 things I need. Like, he had a pen and paper right in front of him. I'm just like, can you just write this down and like do it when you get a minute?
It's his
Like,
power trip.
it was like he was moving so slow. He got into it with some other old lady. Like, it was just like he was
Yeah.
being a fuckhead. So he literally says that, and I said, I've been standing here for 15 fucking minutes. You're just gonna fucking tell me this now? Like, I literally like cussed at him, and like immediately was like, why'd I do that? But like, and he was like, I'm so sorry, bro. Like, it's just like we're so backed up, blah blah blah.
We're out of tinfoil.
I was like, the people last time told me to come in and do it word of mouth. That's what I've been doing for the last 6 months. But now today we're not doing that. Like, he's like, nah, we're all backed up. Like, we're only doing it on the tap. I'm like, he's like, just put in the notes, cut ASAP, and we'll get to it. And like, it wasn't done. He fucked up half the order. Like, it was supposed to be half pounds. He just did pounds. So I had to like just alter it like in the system and hope for the best. But he like fucked up. Like,
every step of the way.
Yes, and he was just a dick about it too. And I was just like, "You're just gonna fucking tell me this now?" Like I said that out loud in front of a bunch of people. Like I was steaming at that point
Jake
because it was
more.
like I like to get home by around 5:30 to like my son goes to bed at like 7:30, so I like to spend a couple hours with him. And this was like going on 6, and I'm just like you're cutting into my fucking
me time,
my son time. Oh,
dirty time.
Yeah, and then the customer. I was doing a DoorDash waiting for this guy's DoorDash deli meat, and he had like 5 other items. Then I get another customer. Summers Point Fitness was the name, so I guess they own the fucking gym. And like, it's fine. He tipped like $26 or something, but it started as 14 items, and then as I'm shopping his stuff, they can just keep adding stuff on. So he was literally ping-ponging me back and forth across the store. Like it would be like, oh, I want 4 bagels, and I'm like, all right, like it is generally annoying when people start adding stuff because you're going in like a route, like you're just going down the store, and then they'll be like, you're in aisle 17, and they add something in aisle 6, and you have this full cart, and you got to walk back across the store, then back to where you were on the list. Like it's fucking annoying. It jumbles your whole momentum up.
Yeah.
And this guy, it started as 14 items, it ended as 37 items.
Damn.
It took me. I didn't leave. Like I got there like 5. I didn't leave the store until like 6:15. Like this was supposed to be like. Normally, like under normal conditions, I could have got that done in like a half an hour. And it took me like an hour and 15 minutes. And like I would be at the registers, and it'd be like, Summers Point Fitness added anchovy paste, and I'm like, I out loud was going, is this guy fucking serious right now? Like he just kept adding shit the whole time. Like, and then like everything that it's Sunday. It was busy this week. It's a shore town. Like it's Sunday at like 6 p.m. The shelves are like bare. Like there's no lettuce left. I don't know what you want me to do. Like every Shuby in town made Caesar fucking salad this weekend. There's no romaine hearts, and he's just like, I want romaine hearts, and I'm like, there is none. And I'm sending him pictures of empty shelves. He's like, there's no romaine. I'm like, there is.
What do you think these pictures are of?
And I sent him. I was like, this is the one that's left, and it was like brown. And he's like, that's good. And I'm like, I just fucking bagged it and fucking
send it.
No, I didn't. I got him like, he was like, get red leaf arugula then. I'm like, they don't have that either, and I just got like. He's like, I need something, so I just gave him green leaf lettuce, and I was like, I hope this is fucking good. But
all right, I got one. For you.
That fucking, I can't. Tina does it to me, where she's like,
she's
like, oh, I want cheese, and I'm like, I'm in the fucking laundry soap aisle. I don't want to go back to the deli. Like, what the fuck?
See, all right, so we can wrap on this because we're at 2 hours, and I gotta fucking start doing shit. My phone just went off 1,000 times in my pocket. I think Jay's upset or something. So my grandmother was notorious. My mom's mom was notorious for being like the worst. That exact person. That if there was a DoorDash app in her day and age, she would be the person that would be like, I'm gonna order 2 items and then add 50 other items on.
I forgot I needed cherries. I don't even think it's with malintent.
I don't think so either.
Like
I think they're just oblivious to it.
To walk around in circles now.
And then she would be the one to take it a step further though, and then you get like one wrong thing, and then after you do it, like really bending over for her, just completely like either
doesn't even want the product,
or like gets mad at something. It's like I don't even fucking know what to tell you here. So my grandmother was notorious for being that person. We were at the old 7-Eleven in Cape May Courthouse, which is now, Jesus fucking Christ.
What's going on?
Yeah, just he calls me like 9 fuck.
Is it something important though?
No, it's not. It's him telling me he's walking his dog. Anyway. So
what if it is important though? I'm nervous. Someone calls me 9 times. I think someone died or is dying. That's where my brain goes. Oh my god.
Fuck that shit.
I thought you were gonna answer it.
No. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna forget about it too. The lawnmower's gonna.
Senor. Fucking.
No bueno.
There's guys who park on the shoulder.
I'm literally probably gonna take the dog after this. Forget about it. But anyway, so we can wrap on this. My grandmother was the worst at that. She literally went into that 7-Eleven in Courthouse one time. There's a guy who has 2 customers in front of my grandmother. He's making their deli meat like on the slicer, and like clearly is just like, I'm over this shit. These people are a pain in my ass. My grandmother goes, excuse me. I know there's people in front of me, but if you don't mind, could you make me a sandwich for my grandson? And the people are
they make sandwiches there?
Yeah, that 7-Eleven, back in the day, it was like kind of a ghetto 7-Eleven. Like it was always a ghetto, but they had a deli slicer and they make like custom sandwiches and whatnot. But my grandma like just wanted to cut the line and was like, my grandson is really hungry. Could you make him a sandwich in front of these people? And the guy's like, look, and the people were also like, like what's going on here, lady? the guy's
Stay
like,
for 20 minutes.
the guy's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. My grandmother's like, but why? My grandson is very hungry. And he goes, I don't know. And then my grandma was like, well, can I get the next order then? And he goes, no, you can get to the end. Like, it's just like a banter like that where neither of them are like letting up. So anyway, my grandmother tries to hit him with like well, I'm going to call your supervisor. And he goes, well, you're not getting your food. Tough lady. And that was like the kill shot.
Tough cookies.
My grandmother who like,
this generation's so rude.
she just gritted her teeth and like walked the fuck out. It was like, we're never
It'd be
going
funnier
there
if the
again.
sandwich was for her. It wasn't even for you.
Yeah,
Like,
it
she's
was
just like,
totally
she wanted a
was.
BLT.
Totally was. I wasn't even hungry. I had chewing gum. I was ready to go home. All right, what do we got to plug?
Let's see here.
All right,
We got.
HRS Design and Promotion.
You can pay for their services and crack.
you can pay for Anthony. I think his name is Davis, the realtor and Mar Real Estate Group on Long Island, Hempstead. You can get all your real estate done in crack.
We got Tommy, Traction Motorsports, the 11R. Flips, hopes for a speedy recovery. That was last week's notes.
That was last week's notes, yes.
He started towards the back. I think he started in like 22nd, and he ended up finishing 10th or 11th or something.
top
So he
10,
had a
I
good
think,
run. He was on backup wings, probably still ironing out the kinks, but strong run for the 11R. And then we had Brendan Shepard Off-Road Racing coming home in 4th, I believe, this week.
Yes.
I shared it on the Blacktooth page. Go check it out. Check them out. TOR Racing and the Bubbles for Autism event at the next Millville thing, April 28th. I think it's coming up.
You bring
Stewart's-
bubbles, he'll blow them.
And you could also give them crack.
Also, you could pay for sponsorship and crack.
That's how we did pay for our sponsorship.
we paid for
Gave Chef a big rock. He's like, cool.
I'm gonna go ride my motorcycle. He's not even in a league. He's just been racing the car. He's just been getting in high-speed pursuits.
He's in the woods behind his house.
Just him out there setting up caution tape by himself. This is gonna be a real good course.
He's in like an old landfill, just jumping over like concrete barriers and shit. It's like,
It's a tire barn.
It's an obstacle course. We did HRS Traction, Stewart's Handyman Service, first and longest sponsor of the Blacktooth podcast. Give him a shout. He also takes crack as payment.
His fellas take crack as payment.
He does anything to your house that you want.
You don't smoke crack in your house. You pay him crack, just come over and
He will
smoke
smoke crack with you. If
We're
you
gonna
want.
lose all our sponsors.
What sponsors?
Hey, that's exactly it.
We literally give our friends shout outs, obviously for free. We have 80 fucking subs, 83, my bad. But I try to think of things to plug, and I don't even. All our friends just work like jobs. Like, you can plug fucking.
I don't even want to plug my real
plug
job.
fucking our friend Dubby with Bob McAllister Heating and Cooling. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know who
Sounds
to
good.
plug. If you're a fan of this and you got something you want to plug, we'll plug it for free because we're just trying to have the aesthetic of being cool and like we're a real podcast. We're giving plugs. We have sponsors. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
We have
We're
nothing.
gonna get fired from our own podcast.
We're
just
gonna
give
have
up.
our friends be like, "Yo, stop mentioning me on
Stop.
your stupid fucking talking about jerking off at work podcast." Autumn messaged me and she was talking about. She thought it was really funny my story about being like getting caught peeing on the side of the road, and she was like, "I just got to another part with like a cringe face emoji," and I was just like, "It's got to be the part where I'm talking about jerking off at work."
Yep.
I just responded like,
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, oh yeah, people listen to this. But yeah, if you've got something you want to plug, we'll gladly plug it. And we're going to wrap on that. I got to run.
All right, see ya. Thanks for listening. Go fuck yourselves.
I don't know if this one sucked